Middays with Marks. Oh, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm your host, John Marks. Back from assignment. He rolled in because he ate so much Bojangles in 24 hours. He put on 7 pounds. His name's Ray Dunn. Hello, Raymond.
Dude, the Student Center at Charlotte has a Bojangles. Like, it's right there when you walk into the Student Center. I needed to get a cup of coffee. I walked in to get some coffee, and then I just see the Bojangles logo. I'm like, man, if I came here for school, it would have been 50 pounds. It would have been 50 pounds easily for me. The other options there also, like, with all due respect to the 49ers and the wonderful people in Charlotte, suck in that Student Center.
Okay.
But Bojangles just sitting there as soon as you walk in. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go study. I'm going to hit the library. And Bojangles is just there waiting for you.
So this isn't at the arena. There's a Bojangles at the college in the Student Center.
At the college in the Student Center.
That's dangerous.
There might be one in the arena. I haven't done the full walk around of their concourse options.
Where can I get a Bojangles? Because I've never had it.
So I think there's one in Reading.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
Allentown, maybe? I just don't understand. Like, we've brought everything. There's a Raising Cane's on Temple's campus now. We can't get a Bojangles somewhere around Philadelphia? Quakertown. All right.
That's not bad.
It feels like, though,
it's not good.
I've kind of turned it into a delicacy for me, where it's like only in North Carolina am I going to Bojangles. When I connect with the Charlotte airport, I go to the Charlotte airport Bojangles. When I'm in Charlotte, I get Bojangles.
So, yeah, I mean, you don't want to do it other than that.
Right. Oh, yeah, because it could be bad
on
for the
Thursdays, you don't want to go to Bojangles every week. It's like, kind of like Specs up by us in Collegeville.
Yes.
Specs chicken, roasted chicken, is unbelievably great, but I don't need that. Make that a part of my routine every week.
As someone that was one of the lottery selectants for the Broad Street run, probably not good for me if I were to make that a habit.
No, probably not. All right. Well, there you go. Lot to talk about. Ray actually didn't get in until what time this morning? 3:30?
3:30, got back to the apartment.
So because of the fog in the area, you guys didn't even leave Charlotte until late, and then you had to divert and then land somewhere in North Jersey.
Correct. It was awesome. We were like, oh, yeah, big win. Going to fly directly home. Last week, San Antonio, we got home somewhere in the 3 o'clock hour. Not going to be this week. We're going to be in bed before midnight. And then we're just waiting on the tarmac. We're like, oh, what's happening? Then the captain comes out of the cockpit. I'm like, uh-oh. He pulls our director of operations over, like, hey. And I hear Baltimore and I hear New Jersey. Neither one of those things are Philadelphia.
So you're on the charter plane with the Lady Owls, Temple women's basketball team. Where do you sit on the plane?
I am front row. I could not be close. You know where they got nowhere for the bag to go underneath?
Right, that's
I am
you?
front row, yes. I'm right there. I'm sitting right in front of the head coach.
Do the players throw stuff at you? No, you're right in front of the head coach.
I'm right in front. No, the players all the way in the back.
Right.
That was a lively back of the plane. Got the win. Everyone was happy. And then everyone found out that they were landing in Morristown, New Jersey.
Wow.
And the demeanor of the plane changed just a little bit.
There we go. All right. Well, once again, Ray on short rest. It's like a back-to-back in the NBA. That's Ray this morning.
Yeah. No load management for the producer.
Except he got 3 hours of sleep. These NBA players still get 12 hours of sleep on back-to-backs.
Right. And their seat in the plane has a little bit more legroom.
A little bit. Just a little bit. All right. So I wouldn't have thought that we were going to lead with A.J. Brown today. And before you'd be like, just hang on a second. So it wasn't that long ago, and we're going to have Brandon Lee Galton from Bleeding Green Nation on at 11 o'clock. And it wasn't that long ago that he came on and he was like, yeah, A.J. Brown's not coming back. And I think everybody at the time agreed. Maybe not 100% he's locked, he's not coming back. But I mean, I know Ray doesn't want A.J. traded, but Ray also was like, yeah, it feels like A.J.'s gone. And I would say most Eagles fans, or at least listeners to our show that we talk to either on YouTube or that I hear from on social media, that it's like, yeah, it does feel like that AJ's gone. And then there's been a couple weeks since then. He spoke at the Super Bowl. He's sure acting like he's coming back next year, and there's not even a consideration to him not coming back. But kind of one by one, you're getting a lot of the insiders that are kind of steering the car away from, it looks like A.J. Brown's gone to, it's still early to, I don't know. It looks like he's coming back. This is Adam Schefter this morning with the guys talking about A.J. Brown.
I said last week that I felt like it could go either way. My guess, if I had to guess, would be I'd lean towards the trade, but it could go either way. Isn't that what I said last week?
Yes.
I'd flip it the other way, and I'd still say it still could go either way, but I'd lean safe rather than out. It's not a flip. Again, I think when we go back to the regular season, we've always said that they're in the business of acquiring elite players, not unloading them. And I still think that that's the case. And so I'll still say, to me, it could go either way, but I would be more inclined to say that he'd stay there. And by the way, like, I could come back on next week and shift it again to you, okay? But, we're taking a temperature. 100 degrees as he's traded. Last week I was probably at 53 degrees that he would get traded. This week I'd be at 46 degrees that he's traded. How about that?
All right. Well, that's Shefty. We had Jeremy Fowler on yesterday. Heard you have that, Ray? Jeremy Fowler, noted NFL senior reporter for ESPN. We asked him about A.J. Brown. And if you don't have it, it's all right. I can just say what he said, which is not a lot, that it's still early in the process, but he was unhappy last year. Schefter brings up the point of Howie Roseman and kind of how he talks about you're in the business of, like, you're not getting rid of good players. You're trying to acquire good players. And he's right. How he was asked that question is similar to how Dave Dombrowski was asked about Bryce Harper. Now, meanwhile, Dave Dombrowski said, "Oh, well, I don't know if he's elite anymore." To what Howie said, which was, and like A.J. Brown didn't have a great season last year, but he could have very said, "Well, only A.J. Brown knows if he's going to be as good a player as he is." Like Howie would never do that. But here's Derek Gunn on yesterday with the boys talking about A.J. Brown.
As we sit here right now, the Eagles have no intentions of trading A.J. Brown. They love A.J. Brown. A.J. has openly professed that he wants to be here. Now, despite what is thought of him on the surface as being a distraction and selfish and things of that nature, everybody in that building loves A.J., and they know that A.J. can help this team get back to where it was. And as Howie said in his after-season press conference, it's hard to find elite talent that fits what you're doing. And we know that A.J. fits what this Eagles offense did. Obviously, it's in a new direction now, but we know it fits what it did. We've seen the numbers. And the Eagles want him here. But next week starts the Combine. And a lot of deals, a lot of whispers are made at the Combine. So if somebody offers an Eagles a deal that blows them away, they have to listen to it. Again, let me emphasize, as we sit here right now talking, the Eagles want A.J. Brown in an Eagles uniform in 2026.
But do they? Is that just what's being put out there right now? Because D-Gun's right. They should listen on trade offers. But is there really going to be a trade that comes down the pike that is, hey, we can't refuse that? No one's offering 2 first-round draft picks for A.J. Brown. Wait, right, what would be an offer that you want A.J. back, but you also realize there is another side to it? What's the offer that you say, okay, I'll do that? A 1 plus?
It has to be a 1 plus.
A 1 1/3? What they gave up for him? A 1 and a player?
Depends who the player is, because the player could just be throwing salary under the cap that I don't really need.
The ESPN had hypothetical trades, and they had Riley Moss, cornerback, who's their second corner, and a second-round draft pick. And Moss is only under contract for 1 more year, so he's a free agent. So you'd be getting your starter a corner this year. And he wasn't a first-round pick, so he's not making a ton of money. He actually paid with Cooper DeJean at Iowa. So, I mean, I don't. Here's where I am. I don't know. I certainly would say that he's coming back, but I also don't know if the Eagles are very open to it. The Eagles aren't trading him for a second-round draft pick. I don't believe the Eagles are desperate to trade him or necessarily looking to trade him, unless they are. We don't know what it's like in that locker room. When D. Gunn says that AJ was loved by his teammates and everybody, that's the same thing that I've heard, which is AJ's not the problem. Maybe AJ shouldn't have been doing the social media stuff or whatever, but AJ's not the problem. And when people say that, and I think D. Gunn has talked about this before, because he brought up Carson Wentz with Jalen Hurts the last time I think we heard him talk about something. Like, it's always kind of, AJ's not the problem. Wink, 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 right? No one actually wants to come out and say it, but it's that the team loves AJ. Wink, 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 wink. In other words, the problem's the quarterback, not AJ Brown. So that's the one thing I worry about is the quarterback. AJ can say all the right things right now. I don't think AJ wants to leave. I also don't think AJ wants to have a quarterback play like he saw last year. So I don't know. Do I believe that the Eagles really aren't going to trade AJ Brown? I'm leaning there right now. Ray, how do you feel?
I'm feeling a lot better as a guy that wanted to stand in front of the bulldozer a couple of times with this A.J. Brown conversation. I'm feeling like maybe I don't have to now. Maybe the Eagles have like, wait a second, that guy protesting right there's got a point. Let's calm down. Let's figure this thing out because your team's not better without him. I keep going back to that. I know we could keep saying, well, depending on the style they want to play, depending if they improve here, they didn't use him to his potential. I know we could go to all these different things from last season and even go back to 2024 when you want to say, hey, his role on that team was not what you would expect of a wide receiver of his caliber. But he's a wide receiver of his caliber. Taking him off this team does not make you better in the near future. And I don't think finding that replacement for him is going to be like, oh, yeah, they're going to draft a guy or they're going to be able to bring a guy in free agency and this offense looks better. Devontae Smith benefits from the fact that A.J. Brown's there. A.J. Brown benefits from the fact Devontae Smith's there. Both of them benefit from the fact that Saquon Barkley's on this team. It's a nice ecosystem of talent they've created here that I don't need to mess up because, hey, we just feel like we need to move on from this guy.
Yeah, I push back on that they can't be as good without A.J. Brown. I don't believe that. Depends what are you going to do? What are you doing with the $30 million? What are you doing with the draft picks? Is it a risk? Yeah, because look at the Titans. They traded away A.J. Brown because they didn't want to pay him, which was stupid. And look at what they drafted. Who's the guy that's not even on the team anymore?
Treylon Burks.
Yeah, Treylon Burks. Like his replacement. Didn't even finish out his rookie contract. So yeah, you can not replace him. You can go out and not sign somebody to replace him. You can draft the wrong guy. We've seen him do that before. You can sign the wrong guy. But I also have to have some type of faith in this team that they now know how to do things a little bit better than they did before. And if that money's allocated instead of to a second wide receiver, but to a defensive end, which is the biggest need on the team, I can't argue with that. I don't know what their big picture view is. I don't know what Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie think about their defense. Jalen Carter's going to need to be paid. Jordan Davis is going to need to be paid. Quinyon Mitchell's going to need to be paid. All these guys are going to start making big money. Right? Like, at what point, somebody's got to not make a lot of money. And, I mean, is A.J. Brown going to be into it this year? I don't know. Like, to me, this isn't a clear-cut, you don't trade A.J. Brown, period. If he wants to be back, he wants to be back. There's more than a case for trading A.J. Brown. If you can get a first-round draft pick plus for A.J. Brown, that's a difficult decision because he is a good player. I also just watched him have a horrible playoff game and really during the season was checked out a lot of the time. During games, he was indifferent. He wasn't even mad. He wasn't even mad at the passing offense. He wasn't even mad at Jalen Hurts. He was indifferent. He was mad on social media. So does that mean just because he says and we say that won't happen again and that won't happen again? Okay. I don't know. Maybe he outlives Jalen Hurts and they keep A.J. Brown and they get rid of I don't know. None of those things need to happen. But, I can't, right, you just can't say to me, there's no way they're better off without A.J. Brown. Well, it depends what they do with the allocation of funds and the draft picks and things like that.
Are they drafted someone that day one's going to come in and be as good an impact as A.J. Brown?
You may not even draft a wide receiver this year to be his replacement. You may be signing a one-year guy that's opposite of Devontae Smith. I can make the case Devontae Smith's not utilized as much as he should be because of A.J. Brown.
I could make an argument. Neither one were utilized by the way they should be, by the way this offense has been.
Agreed. So, Dallas Goedert deserves more receptions out of the tight end position, and he doesn't get them because of the offense, because of the wide receivers. I'm not telling you A.J. Brown's not a great player. I was talking with John Kincade during one of the breaks, and he was saying that he thinks A.J. Brown's regressed as a player, separation from corners and things like that. I don't believe that. I think A.J. Brown in the right environment that he kind of gets this boost of, hey, new spot, a lot to prove. I want to have 1,500 yards again. I think J.J. Brown could easily do that. Can he do it here? I think it's less likely he does it again here than if he went somewhere else.
I understand that, and I understand that thought process. My pushback on this whole thing is maybe they are better as an offense because we saw what they were as an offense last year that was bad. And so they're going to clear that bar, you would hope. So help us if they don't clear that bar of what they were as an offense last year. I think we'll all lose our minds and the city might burn. But their ceiling as an offense, I don't think gets any higher if you get rid of A.J. Brown. Like peak performance of an offense, I don't think it's any higher without A.J. Brown. And that's kind of where I want to go with this team. If we're talking about getting to the ceiling of this team, getting to where this team could be its best, I don't think it gets better without A.J. Brown. So you're right. There's reasons to look for a trade. And it's not my favorite Windhorse clip of all time talking about Tyrese Maxey where it's prime Michael Jordan, we're not interested. If it's not, hey, first and a second, I'm hanging up the phone.
Right.
2 firsts, get lost. A.J. Brown's our guy. I'm answering the phone, and I'm placing the phone calls. But I think for me, it's a tough world. Every time we have these conversations, you try and entice me with some sort of, hey, this is what they could get. Every time that I want to say yes, I just have in the back of my head him making a contested catch. And, like, this offense with him one-on-one on one side, Devontae Smith one-on-one on the other side, what they could be with real coaching this year, with all due respect, with a real offensive mind.
It's a fair point. A healthy offensive line, it's a fair point. Here's where I am. I don't believe that the Eagles will be offered enough to trade A.J. Brown. Would the Bills step up and offer their first-round draft pick? I don't know. They should. I would. If I was any of these teams that needed a wide receiver, Chargers, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Patriots, are you kidding me? A first-round draft pick? That's nothing. The Eagles just proved that's nothing. And A.J. Brown, all right, is he the same player he was 4 or 5 years ago? Fine. He's not the same player he was back then. But his game hasn't been separation speed. His game is physical play, physical catcher, athleticism, monster. And even if he's lost a step, which I think it'd be fair to say maybe he's even lost like a quarter of the step, that's not what the problem was last year. The problem last year was he wasn't into it. Who wants to argue with that? He literally during games, he didn't get throws early. They weren't throwing it to him early. He just seemed checked out. I get it. I would have been frustrated too. But that's something that you can't do, and that's something they can't have again. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Bill Colarulo checks in on the text line. Do they win the Super Bowl without AJ in 2023? They do. I don't even think you can argue with that. That wasn't a team that was winning because of their vertical pass offense. That was a team that was playing checkers, not chess. And AJ was a big part of it. AJ's an elite wide receiver. They didn't need 2 elite wide receivers that year. They didn't need Devontae and AJ Brown. They could have had a B-level wide receiver as their second wide receiver with Dallas Goedert and with Saquon Barkley. Now, I don't think they can continue to play like that with Saquon Barkley running for 2,000 yards. But can you win without A.J. Brown? Of course you can win without A.J. Brown.
Do you get earlier in the season with teams like, we're just going to sell out to stop everything with Saquon? Because you still have to respect A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith being there.
Yeah. A.J. Brown was also mad about the passing offense.
He was.
After the Carolina game. So it's not like the passing offense was anything great. There was frustrations. The year they won the Super Bowl, they were frustrated with it. And he's not alone, by the way.
Absolutely. And then they go to the Steelers game. He has a game. He plays well. We get that's what you all want to see. I go back to the Commanders game, and as good as everything was, that 4th down that they convert when it was a 2-point game and it was still close, where it goes to A.J. Brown on the sideline, that's not a separation A.J. Brown. That's just A.J. Brown making a tough catch. Like, those types of plays that we've seen A.J. make, to me, are the reason why I can't just cast him aside, even though this offense isn't designed for him to be the 1,500-yard receiver that he wants to be and that he should be.
All right, Mike from Glen Mills has a Bojangles update for you, which we'll try to do in the beginning of next segment. But coming up next, Howie Roseman, how he handled the A.J. Brown situation and how he's answered questions. And given the Eagles' power with other teams, how it compares to Dave Dombrowski's handling of Bryce Harper, and really Nick Castellanos for that matter as well. 610-632-0975. The question for me today is, do you believe the Eagles aren't going to trade A.J. Brown? Does it feel like that it swung before almost everybody agreed, yeah, it seems like they're going to have to trade or they're going to trade A.J.? I don't feel like that now. I'm just wondering, do we really believe that they're not trading A.J. Brown, or are the Eagles looking for the best opportunity? And they're still very much open to it. Brandon Lee Galton, who did not believe A.J. Brown was going to be back, he's going to join us at 11 o'clock, and we'll kind of talk about all of this. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A.J. Brown back. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Uber Eats. You hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at the Scholars from now to March 31st. Get a buy one, get one free deal on Rigatoni Vodka on the app. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details. The big topic of the Eagles offseason remains A.J. Brown. Adam Schefter today joined Kincade and Salciunas, talked about the latest on the A.J. Brown trade saga.
I said last week that I felt like it could go either way. My guess, if I had to guess, would be I'd lean towards the trade, but it could go either way. Flip it the other way, and I'd still say it still could go either way, but I'd lean safe rather than out.
So as the tide turning, Schefter seems to indicate that he feels more likely A.J. Brown is back. We'll talk to Brandley Gowton of Bleeding Green Nation coming up at 11 o'clock about everything going on with the Eagles offseason, including A.J. Brown. Sixers return from the All-Star break tomorrow night against the Hawks. You got to wait another night before they get back to action. The Union in action tonight. CONCACAF Champions Cup action 6 o'clock tonight against Defense Force. This update brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Ray Down, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
We got the comparison of Howie and Dave Dombrowski. Let's go to Ray. How many times did you eat Bojangles, and how long were you in North Carolina?
24 hours.
How many times did you eat Bojangles?
Just once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thought about a second trip.
Mike and Glen Mills, what do you got on Bojangles for Ray?
Yeah, I'm from a small town just west of Asheville. I'm here working, and I've been to the one in Quakertown. Their gimmick is you can see the lady making the biscuits in the restaurants, and they make them all day and all night. They have great food. It's very cheap compared to the prices here, and they opened that one up to see how it would go. They're looking for other locations, though. Ardmore and Glen Mills, they're looking for property because, if you go to Popeyes and then you go to Bojangles, Ray will tell you there's no comparisons.
Right. Well, I don't go to Popeyes. Food. Are you related to somebody in the Bojangles management system, or how do you know all this inside information?
Because I lived in North Carolina, and when I lived there, I weighed about 275. Now I weigh 230.
Thank you, man. All right, I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm not driving.
Ardmore?
I could. That's kind of on my way home.
That's doable right there.
That's bad news for me.
Somebody hit my line on this. Let's make this work. Let's get this in motion here.
Sounds like great content created by Ray eating Bojangles.
First, from the creators of Super Size Me.
Right. Here's Ray eating Bojangles. I'm sure Sean will be stuffing his face right next to you. All right. So this is Howie Roseman. Was this after the season? Because he was asked at the trade deadline, and he kind of said the same thing. Here's Howie Roseman after the season on AJ.
We talked about this, I think, at the trade deadline last time I talked. It is hard to find great players in the NFL, and AJ is a great player. I think from my perspective, that's what we're going out and looking for. Go out here, free agency, in the draft, is trying to find great players who love football, and he's that guy. So I think that would be my answer.
Yep. And it seems relatively easy to me, the answer, and he's right. And Howie is very good at saying what he wants to say and not saying anything if he doesn't want to say it. He would never come out like Dave Dombrowski and do this.
I mean, in Bryce's case, of course, he's still a quality player. He's still a all-star caliber player. He didn't have an elite season like he has had in the past. And I guess we only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
Yep. He called him a quality player. For everybody that says Bryce's got to stop being a baby, I hear you. But Dave Dombrowski, for no reason other than he was talking and was feeling good about himself, called him a quality player.
He does go on to compare him to Freddie Freeman, which, Freddie Freeman did basically win the Dodgers a World Series not so long ago.
And he sounded stupid with that. With Freddie Freeman, but when he compared him to Freddie Freeman, he compared him to Freddie Freeman when he was at a crossroads in his career?
No, Freddie Freeman now. Because Freddie Freeman's a good player. He's not an MVP caliber player.
He is, but oh my God, Freddie Freeman is a great player. He's just in the latter stages of his career where he's not going to carry a team like he once did.
Right.
And by the way, Bryce Harper last year, his average was 261 with 27 home runs and 75 RBIs. He had 32 doubles. All right? So 27 home runs, 32 doubles in a down year. That's 62 extra base hits. And, I mean, and that's a down year for him. So instead of saying, well, I don't know if he could be elite again, that's really for Bryce to say. How about answering the question like Howie Roseman and A.J. Brown? Did A.J. Brown have the year that he had in previous years, Ray?
No.
Is that because he's deteriorating as a player, or it was just a down year?
Down year.
But I don't know the answer to that, Ray.
Does Howie Roseman know the answer to that?
Imagine if he answered like that. Imagine if that was, well, AJ's a really good player, but he kind of had it down. So, I mean, he's a quality player, but only AJ knows how good he's going to be, see?
But here's the question. See? You see the 1950s radio announcer.
He sounds like Thurston Howell III when he talks.
But the question here is, Dave Dombrowski clearly can pin Bryce Harper's season on Bryce Harper. Would Howie Roseman pin A.J. Brown's season on A.J. Brown?
Yeah, I would not. Well, the biggest issue last year with the offense wasn't that A.J. Brown's game is deteriorated. It's the fact the passing offense sucked, the offensive line wasn't good, and they had Patullo as the offensive coordinator calling plays. Isn't that what the issue was? Wasn't the quarterback the bigger issue than the wide receiver? And by the way, like AJ's AJ's play is unacceptable.
Right.
To not be into it because you're frustrated with the offense. All right. Like, I would almost rather have T.O. behavior where he's yelling and screaming than just being out there going through the motions.
I'm just saying from this perspective, you had Lurie hugging, oh, it's okay, A.J. Brown. Like, from the front office, from management's perspective of things last season, Dave Dombrowski looks at Bryce Harper, sees it's like, Bryce has got to be better. Does management from the Eagles front office, maybe they want to be better because they had the conversation, get off social media, but do they think on the field, A.J. Brown's season is product of A.J. Brown?
I don't think they think that. No.
So I think that's part of the reason why you get the difference in message.
Right, but like as Bryce pointed out, who was hitting cleanup? Who was protecting him? Who's throwing A.J. Brown the ball? Who's calling the plays? Who's designing the offense? All things that are out of control of A.J. Brown. Who's hitting behind Bryce Harper?
That's fair.
Also things that are out of control of Bryce Harper. Now, he's got to be better, but if you want him not to chase balls out of the strike zone, then give him better protection behind him. Now, because they haven't improved the team, batting him in front of Kyle Schwarber, to me, is the easy fix. And if it affects Schwarber, then maybe you have to deal with that, and maybe you got to switch it around. But to start the season, I'm hitting Bryce Harper second. I just am. So it's just very, very strange way for Dave to. It gets more and more bizarre when you look at other examples of Howie Roseman. Hey, Howie, Lane Johnson was injured last year. He didn't look like the player that he once was. Do you think Lane Johnson's still an elite offensive lineman in this league? How do you think Howie would answer that? Well, only Lane knows if he's an elite offensive lineman.
Hell yeah.
Right? Like, come on. It's crazy. But what is the text line weighing in on A.J. Brown? I would lean, if Schefter's 54-46, I would lean 80-20 that Brown's staying. Something like that.
80-20. We got the first text we got on this. I don't want AJ back. His ass should have been gone the moment he decided to read a book on the sidelines during a game. He can go get his numbers with a loser team and stop ruining this one.
See, I would feel like that if I had it, like, even if I had one person in the media. Seriously, give me the name of the reporter or somebody that digs to try to get stuff. Jeff McClain, Tim McManus. I need one person to say A.J. Brown was a problem in the locker room last year. Or this person doesn't like A.J. Or this person. Nobody. In fact, everything that you hear, and this is from numerous people that are in the media, not inside the media, inside the team, when I ask about A.J., everybody loves A.J. From front office to owner to coaching staff to everybody, players, defense, offense, everybody loves A.J. And then it's the wink, wink, wink. Oh, well, AJ's not the problem. Wink, wink, wink. That's what you get. Nobody wants to really put that out there and make it. It's all about the quarterback because he's a Super Bowl MVP, and it's not a conversation that the fans want to hear. But you always get the wink, wink, wink with it.
Yeah, and with that though, like you could say in the locker room, maybe he's not. Not everyone's gathering around his locker to hang out. The thing is, I think the reason reporters probably won't go with that is because, one, Jalen's going to be here this season at the very least, and he's a Super Bowl MVP, and the team from the ownership, management, that perspective, like him. They like him. They want to be their guy. So as much as AJ could be like everybody's boy inside the locker room, this is the franchise's boy. This is their guy. Like, this is who they want. This is what they've got. And they've won with him as the quarterback. I think Zach Berman was the one last week. I forget who he was on with talking about, like, hey, every team wants a quarterback they can win a Super Bowl with. They've won a Super Bowl with him. They've been to another one with him.
You can't argue with that.
And it's not a popularity contest in the NFL. Like, it's not a popularity contest in that locker room. You know when he's popular? When they win. You know when
he's not? When they don't.
Right. So if they've proven they can win with him, they could probably win with him again. All right.
But you agree with me that even the Michael Silver that came out and talked about, I don't even remember exactly what he said, but he talked about the relationship with Kellen Moore, how Kellen Moore, they didn't have a great relationship, kind of the aloofness of Jalen in the locker room among teammates. You had Emmanuel Acho that said Jalen's sitting by himself, wearing sunglasses, not talking to anybody. Then you have Shady McCoy saying, did he give you one-word answers? It's like anybody that seems like that wants to or that is willing will take that type of shot at Jalen Hurts. So if they're willing to say that, Shady Shady's got a big mouth, but he's also an Eagle, right? There's no reason for him. He would protect Jalen if it felt like he wanted to protect him. He doesn't. So, and you never hear anything bad about AJ. Ever. And maybe he talks to AJ, and that's why he feels like that about Hurts. So what is AJ telling him about Hurts?
You telling me that AJ's got Kevin Durant-like messages out there right now?
All I'm saying is that I never, ever hear anything bad about A.J. Brown. Ever. Give me the story where A.J. Brown's being portrayed as being selfish or a bad teammate or any of those things. Anybody local or national. I don't even think it exists.
No, it's only us talking about him going on social media and about his need for the football.
I mean, really, when you think about it, going on social media weekly like that with the cryptic messages, people are defending him. I even defended him. I said if that's his way of getting it off his chest, then so be it. The owner gave him a hug and said, just please don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
log off social media, buddy.
So why would I think they're going to trade a guy that it seems universally everybody loves, including the owner? The owner's like, no, don't apologize. Give me a hug. You know, it's unbelievable. Ray, we have more people wanting to talk about Bojangles than anything else we've ever brought up on the show.
It's amazing.
And these guys are saying Bojangles is overrated and terrible. Are they locals who are just sick of it?
I mean, it seems from location that they would be, but I'm interested to hear the counter argument.
John in North Carolina, you say Bojangles is overrated.
Yeah, first I want to say I listen to you guys all day for many years. Enjoy your show.
Thank you.
Born and raised in Palmyra, New Jersey. Left there 33 years ago, and I've lived 30 miles outside of Charlotte, southeast of Charlotte, and I've got a Bojangles 10 minutes away from me that I never go to. Now, their biscuits are fantastic. Breakfast sandwiches are great. Chicken's overrated. It's too spicy. I just don't like the spices they use, but maybe that's my opinion, but Bojangles isn't all that. And you like it at first, and after a while you're like, it's not
Get
so
sick
much.
of it.
The best fried chicken around here, you guys probably don't have Publix. I don't know if you do now or not.
I've been to a Publix, though. So the grocery
their
store.
fried chicken is off the chain.
All right.
That's where we go if we're going to have fried chicken, believe it or not. But Bojangles is definitely overrated.
All right, John. Listen, buddy, I appreciate you listening all the way down in North Kakalaka.
I mean,
Thank you.
we appreciate you listening on that one, but you lost me when you said you don't like the spices. I get the Cajun filet. Like, our taste buds are just different on that one.
But it's also a preference, and it might be one of these things that after a while you're like, I'm sick of it. I'm trying to think of an example up here.
Without, going after anyone.
I just don't know what it is. But yeah, I mean, sure, you have, like with me and cereal, I'll eat Cheerios for 3 weeks straight, and then I won't eat Cheerios for 3 months because I'm sick of it. I don't know. You just get sick of it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get getting sick of it. To me, it just is one of those, we have different taste buds. It's not even like anything against him. It's just, if you don't like the spices, the spice is where I'm going. I get the Cajun filet because I could get plenty of plain chicken around here.
All right, Brandon Lee Gouton coming up at 11 o'clock. Just a couple weeks ago, he was a part of the movement that said, AJ's not coming back. Brandon didn't think that AJ was coming back. Does he feel different? How many people share the same sentiment that AJ Brown shouldn't be back? Text line, phone line, 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks 97.5. think I could play that if I wanted to.
That's why it's the only hit from this group.
What's the name of the group?
It's a great question. It's somebody that I used to know as a song.
I know the song. It's a one-hit wonder. I didn't know if they had other hits.
One of the first songs that come up when you look up notable one-hit wonders.
This song?
This song. So I guess notable for this century?
Yeah, I guess.
It's not one of the ones I would think of first for a one-hit wonder. I remember this song coming out.
No, it's a good song.
Yeah, it's
I like
song.
it. It's a hit.
It's a hit. The only one that whatever this group is had.
Well, Brandon Lee Gowton's going to join us at 11 o'clock. Bleeding Green Nation, his thoughts on A.J. Brown. Is the general sense among the YouTube chat and the text line, et cetera, that he's coming back? Because Ray, if I wanted to, I could have the hard line, Nick Wright, Danny Parkins, the takers.
Correct.
I could do that where I could be like, I am not bringing A.J. Brown back. Look at what he did on the field. He's lost a step. The whole case that you could make on why you wouldn't bring A.J. Brown back. I don't know. If they trade him, I don't think it's the end of the world if they get good value. Howie Roseman will not trade A.J. Brown for a second-round draft pick. You're talking about he knows – I don't think there's anybody better in football of knowing value and knowing how to get that value. Remember, Carson Wentz more or less made it, I'm not going anywhere but the Colts. The Bears want me. I'm not happy with going to the Bears. So you could trade me, sure, but I'm not going to be happy. The Bears aren't going to make that trade, knowing the quarterback doesn't want to go there. Howie Roseman managed to get a first-round draft pick plus, right? Didn't they get more than just a first?
I think so, yeah.
There was a conditional second that became a first. Even with Carson Wentz more or less calling a shot, I'm going here. Because the Colts wanted him, and Howie said, if you want this player, you can tell me there's nobody else bidding for him. We'll keep him. And you don't get the quarterback. And they wanted the quarterback, so he was able to get it. So Howie knows how to maneuver and how to work deals. I don't know what A.J. Brown's value is around the NFL. I could be off. I'd easily give up a first-round draft pick for A.J. Brown. If I'm the Buffalo Bills, brand new head coach, Josh Allen, who's now, is he 30? Is he over 30? He's right there, right? Like, at what point, if you're Josh Allen, do you just say, I got to move on? Joe Burrow's at that spot right now. He's like, am I going to spend my entire career in Cincinnati and be a part of a loser franchise? No, you want to feel like that your team has a chance to win. A.J. Brown's the easiest fix for the Bills. It gives them an elite wide receiver, and you have him for a couple of years, and you give up a late first-round draft pick for it. That's easy to me. I don't know. I don't know if teams view him the same way.
Yeah, and it's not unanimous amongst people to bring him back.
All right, what do you got?
We got Mason from Mount Union. If AJ comes back and only gets 1,000 yards and Smith gets 1,500 yards, is AJ happy or is he frustrated again? I say trade him while his value is still there. Love him, but let's move on.
I think it's fair. Yeah, you get a first-round draft pick for A.J. Brown, you really have to think about it.
And Mike in Turnsville is right there with you. If you get a minimum first-round pick from New England, Buffalo, etc., I would do it. Mannion's coming from Green Bay, where they had a wide receiver by committee room, heavily used their tight end. Howie can use A.J. money to help in other areas that really need to be upgraded. Trade A.J., bring in Romeo Doubs, who will know offense and be a lot less expensive.
I don't need to spend free agent dollars on a big-time guy, because this Alec Pierce dude from the Colts is going to end up making $20 million a year as a wide receiver, and trust me, he ain't going to be worth $20 million a year. I watched Christian Kirk a couple years ago lead. Where did he lead? Did he leave the Cardinals and go somewhere, or did he go to the Cardinals?
Left the Cardinals to go to the Texans.
And
leave.
And he got big free agent dollars, and he was cut within a couple of years. I'm not paying top of market for a wide receiver that's not being retained by his own team. That's the advantage of having A.J. Brown. That's why you trade for him.
Went to Jacksonville. Then when he got cut, went to the Texans.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he went to Jacksonville, and they gave him a big-time contract. There's never been more wide receivers in the NFL draft than right now. There's never been as many good wide receivers in the NFL draft than there is right now. Because kids that are coming out now, guys that are in college right now, when I was growing up, when there's football that I remember, the top athletes played running back on offense. If you were the star athlete, you were playing running back. If you were 5'10", you were playing running back. 5'10" players don't play running back anymore as much. They play wide receiver. Jackson Smith Enigma isn't a big, tall guy. He's not 6'4". If you're 6'4", yeah, you're playing wide receiver. You're not going to be a running back. That's not the way it works anymore, because they realize I have a star athlete. What position should he play? He's going to play wide receiver, because wide receivers in throwing leagues, football is a throwing league, that he's going to get the ball more, even if he doesn't have the prototypical size. Offenses anymore, you don't need to be 6'3", 6'4". You can be 5'10" and be a top wide receiver in the league. So the better athletes that are coming out now grew up being wide receivers, not running backs. So that's why you can get a wide receiver in the first or the second round, and they can be star wide receivers without being top 10 picks. You can't make me believe that you can't replace A.J. Brown. If you're a good organization that can draft well, you can replace A.J. Brown and get a wide receiver for the next 7 years. It's not going to cost you $30 million next year. I mean, I don't know. This is far from a no-brainer that you should not trade A.J. Brown, like a lot of people want you to believe. And like you, Ray, like you want me to believe.
Right, absolutely. There is under no circumstance. You tell me you want to give me 3 first-round picks and $50 million just to be nice about it in a Kawhi-like deal? No way. Not a chance. I'm not trading him at all.
For anything.
Can't do it. Lock the Jefferson Health Center or whatever the hell they're calling it now.
How about
he
that?
He can't get out.
How about the Jeff?
Yeah, what is it? Was Jefferson Health? I saw that. And
It's training center. I think it's Jefferson Health Training Center.
So when are we going to accept that as the new thing? A decade from now?
The Jeff. I like it.
We're calling it the Jeff? So Jeff owns the Jeff.
If I still can't get the San Diego Chargers, right, it's going to take me a little bit of time.
There's just so much changing down there. And I hate to be the guy that when I was young, but we went from Wells Fargo Center to Xfinity Mobile Arena, went from Xfinity Live to Stateside Live. Now I'm supposed to call this thing the Jeff?
Yeah, the Stateside Live thing's going to take me a long time. I think the Jeff just is very easy. The Jeff.
Yeah.
Xfinity Mobile Arena isn't a smooth tongue roll out of your mouth.
Yeah, the X.
Like the Wells Fargo Center was.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Wells Fargo Center.
Everything's, what are we going to be next? Is it going to be, so help me if they change CBP. I don't know what the Citizens Bank thing is. You better have that for life. I'm not calling it something else.
I think they are renewing it.
Okay, thank goodness. Because there's
could
too
you
much
imagine?
change.
Well, it's like Heinz Stadium or Heinz Field. I'm not even trying to know what the new name is.
I mean, it's it's a something.
I'm out. It's Heinz Field.
It's Heinz Field.
It is.
Yeah, it's catch-up place forever.
Right. The link before when they play for it in it for like another 7 years can be the link, and then whatever the new stadium is, the new stadium can be.
NovaCare?
No.
NovaCare comes in and takes the stadium. You know what? You take our practice facility from us, we'll take the stadium from you.
Listen, I love NovaCare. I love Thomas Jefferson, the Jeff Wood. I love them all.
Yeah.
They're all great.
They're all great. And we got a studio for you if you're looking for something else to name.
Exactly right. Yep. There you go. That's a good point.
Yeah.
By the way, the Jeff is 25 years old. I don't know if you knew that.
I found that out when I found out they changed it to the Jeff. I was like, wow, 25.
25 years old.
You know who's as old as the Jeff?
You.
Me.
Yep.
Imagine if we did that with people. 25 years, naming rights are up. Like, got a new name.
Or stadiums are up.
Yeah.
Look at Lincoln Financial Field. That's not even, that'll be a 30-year-old stadium by the time it's gone, right?
Right.
Opened in 2003.
Absurd that the shelf life for a stadium is only 30 years.
And it's still in good shape. It's
Yeah.
like the Vet.
Just doesn't have a dome.
It does not. It
Just can't have a Final Four here.
Retractable roof stadium.
Correct.
Is what's coming. And it's coming up next. Brandon Lee Galton, just a few weeks ago, he didn't think there was really a chance at all that A.J. Brown was coming back. I would think that he has changed his mind at least a little bit. I know I have, because I agreed with BLG back then. That's coming up next. Middays and Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Bringing back A.J. Brown. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's been the big topic of conversation as we've gotten into the Eagles offseason. What will happen with star wide receiver A.J. Brown? Adam Schefter was on this morning with Kincade and Salciunas, got into this topic and said some teams are skeptical. Bird's going to make that move.
I don't think it's changed. It's just, I think when I speak to some other teams, I think they're a little bit more skeptical than I expected to hear that the Eagles would trade A.J. Brown.
So, should we expect A.J. Brown to be back with the Birds? We'll talk to Bradley Galton of the Green Nation coming up in the next segment about that and everything going on with his Eagles offseason. Spring training continues from Clearwater State. Phillies continuing workouts. They get ahead of the first game this weekend. Sixers return from the All-Star break tomorrow night against the Hawks. And the Union CONCACAF Cup action tonight in Trinidad and Tobago at 6 o'clock. They're just 3 days away from opening up MLS action. This update brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
be. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Brandon Legalton joins us coming up in a second. Make sure you are subscribed to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube. Shout out. Good morning to everybody watching live on YouTube. So if maybe right now you're listening on the radio or on the Fanatic app, just keep this in mind, that you can go back and listen to the show whenever you want in the podcast form, wherever you get your podcast. But you can also go back like when you get home from work or maybe on your lunch hour and you're like, what are these guys talking about? What's Ray wearing today that they're talking about? Why are people making fun of what Marks is wearing today? Or just maybe you want to watch the show. Not only can you watch it live, you can go back and watch us on demand on YouTube. So just make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic. And also last night, Ray, the name of our baseball podcast, our Phillies podcast, is Philly Baseball Talk. It'll be available in audio form and on YouTube, on the Fanatic's YouTube page. So last night, Maniac Malloy and I of Bet Parks, we did a 30-minute Philly Baseball Talk episode talking about Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos and the 11-year-old that they signed.
Absurd.
For $1.8 million.
I missed that day. The reaction day for the 11-year-old is a day in sports talk radio I will be upset. I missed Wheeler's extension and Kelsey's retirement. I'm more upset I missed the 11-year-old.
But I didn't see it yesterday after we were off the air.
Then this is our reaction show to that. We should have led with that.
So we can do Tony Clark, the Players Association president that resigned because he had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law.
Right.
Which is something.
Certainly something. Definitely not nothing.
And he's being investigated by the feds as well. All right, Brandon Legalton of Bleeding Green Nation joins us right now. BLG, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing good. How's it going?
Good. So I don't think it was the last time we talked, but one of the last time we talked, it's been this, like, is AJ getting traded? It looks like AJ's getting traded. It definitely looks like AJ's getting traded. AJ speaks at the Super Bowl. It doesn't feel like AJ's getting traded. Now you have a guy like Adam Schefter that says he thinks it's more likely AJ doesn't get traded, then he gets traded. I'm wondering, with you on the Eagles beat, BLG, what do you think the latest is with A.J. Brown and if he's staying in Philly or if he's going?
Correct me if I'm wrong. From what I did see of Shefty on the station today, he kind of did say, though, like he's going back like it's a 50-50 kind of proposition, did he not?
He said 54-46, which was last week it was 53 stays. Now he said it's 46. I honestly, I don't. I just said 80% he's back. I don't even really know. I don't know. I don't know what the Eagles think. I don't know if the Eagles are putting stuff out there. Derek Gunn doesn't think he's going anywhere. So I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I'm wondering, BLG.
Yeah, I'll believe it. I'll believe he's back when I see it. I just think everything we saw last year, like, I think people are almost forgetting that. Like, the magnitude. I mean, obviously we know it conceptually, but the feel of it was really bad. And, maybe the temperatures have been taken down. There's been time in the off season to kind of get away from it for a little bit. That's kind of been talked about. But, like, I don't think that changes the reality of his frustration and what got him so frustrated. And I think that, if they go into this season, I think he might still find a lot of the frustrations that he had, because I don't think it was just about an offensive coordinator change. I don't think it was about a scheme change. I think there's structural things with the head coach and quarterback that left him frustrated.
Yeah, because so everything that I've heard, and I'm wondering if you heard the same thing or you hear the same thing, is that AJ's loved in the locker room. The coaches love him. Front office loves him. Jeffrey Lurie loves him. His teammates love him. And it's almost like this wink-wink thing of, it's like AJ really isn't the problem. Wink, 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 wink. And you had just mentioned it with the quarterback and the coach. And that's not going to change. Maybe the offense can change, but I'm with you that I do worry. Everybody now is going to say, well, everything's fine. You have a new offensive coordinator coming in until week 2 when the offense doesn't look good and AJ gets 2 targets in the first 3 quarters. And then he's not talking to the media, and he's on Twitter afterwards posting Bible verses or something like that. If you're not expecting that as being a possibility, I don't think you're looking at things correctly.
I think it's a great point. Yeah, like, it's just what are we convincing ourselves here that things are going to be so different again in 2020? Like, it's so different that we saw last year couldn't possibly happen again. when really this frustration is going back years. Like, even in 2022, it wasn't to the extent, obviously, that it was last year. But in the playoffs against the Giants that year, in the Eagles' first playoff game, like, AJ was frustrated at that point, and it obviously grew, and we saw it more, and obviously it was at its height in 2025. But point being, this isn't just like a new issue that I think you just sweep under the rug. All is good. We put it in the past. I think it would be great if that was the case for the Eagles, to be clear. But I just don't think my sense is that that's not the reality we're looking at here.
When you heard AJ speak at the Super Bowl and he said all the right things, it almost seemed like it was too perfect, right? He did all the cliches, the stuff about the fans in Philly. I'm not disputing that, but he hit everything about like, you got to look in the mirror, and you got to you got to take blame on yourself, and you got to work hard, and you got to do this and got to do that. I don't know, man. To me, when I listened to it, I was like, that sounds like a very well prepared player that his agent made sure he knew what he needs to say and how he needs to present himself when going out to the Super Bowl. Because for a guy that was very unhappy at the end of the season and after games, he sure seemed very happy at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did, or at least happier. But I still think even when he was talking about what he did there in that Super Bowl interview, the body language to me was not like, oh, I'm genuinely thrilled about the prospects of what we have going on in 2026. And, that's subjective. That's open to interpretation. Other people seem to feel differently about that. But I didn't get the sense of like, this is a night and day of a change for him about how he feels about being here. And to talk about the fans part of it, like, I think that's one of the misconceptions that gets put out there. Like, AJ doesn't want to be here because he hates Philadelphia. That's not the case. Like, I think he loves the fans. He loves the intensity. He loves the passion. He likes that part. Like, that's not the issue for him. That's not why I think he would want out of Philadelphia. It all goes back to the football of it all, of where his frustration is located.
So you mentioned, we all, like me, we all talk about Jalen, and is Jalen the problem? You brought up the head coach, which is interesting. They did get in a screaming match on the sideline during the playoff game, right? Is their relationship not great?
Isn't that funny? Like, again, we talk about, like, oh, all is well and good. The last time we saw him, he's yelling back and forth at the head coach. He didn't speak after the game. There was some serious concern there when the last time we saw A.J. Brown play a football game. Not to mention he didn't play well at all in that football game, and I'm sure he'll play better moving forward. But he was really bad in that game. So what was the question again?
I don't even know, but you had said, is A.J. Brown's relationship with Nick Sirianni? How is that relationship?
Yeah. So I think part of it is, I don't think he hates Nick, to be clear. I think it's just a frustration of how the Eagles want to play a certain way, or at least how they have wanted to play in terms of being so turnover avoidant and being so conservative in that way. And I think that's something that kind of goes hand in hand with both the head coach and the quarterback and how they prefer to play and what they think is the best way to win. And I think AJ clearly feels differently, and he said as much. He has talked about, let your killers kill. Let them go out and play. So maybe if there's a philosophical change there, maybe that helps. But I don't know how much of that, is just suddenly that, Nick and Jalen are going to say, all right, we were wrong. Actually, AJ, you were right all along.
Right. Talking to Brandon League out in Bleeding Green Nation. Remember that whatever game that was that they just barely won, and Nick was cursing and running up the tunnel, and AJ kind of gave him that side eye when he ran by him. Not that was telling, but I just thought it was very funny. All right, so this is what I believe, Brandon League out, is that ultimately the details are going to matter, and I believe Howie goes to the combine with his ears open, ready to hear what teams are interested in what they're mentioning as trade. Because if they're coming with a second-round draft pick and then maybe a conditional later-round pick, I don't think the Eagles pull the trigger. But if the Bills say, hey, listen, our first-round draft pick and then we can talk about a later-round pick, maybe you give us a fifth-round draft pick in return, I think that's when Howie considers it. They don't have to trade him, and I don't think they're going to operate like they have to trade him. But it might actually be a good time to, if you can get real value for him, to make the move. Do you agree?
That's the thing. I think there's a scenario here where this goes poorly again in 2026, assuming you keep him, and then all of a sudden you can't trade A.J. Brown at that point, or at least, for anything worthwhile at all after the 2026 season. So I think this could be trying to kind of get out ahead of it from a standpoint of he might not really want to be here, not looking super motivated. We feel like we can get out from this. Obviously, the financial ramifications aren't ideal, but it's not a matter of the Eagles cannot trade him book closed the way that I feel like some people have made it out to be in terms of the salary cap implications there. Like the Eagles have taken, they're not afraid to take on big dead cap hits, especially the player that doesn't want to be there or it's just kind of an untenable situation. So that's not the barrier. The barrier, like you're saying, is the compensation. They're not going to just give him away. Like that's not going to happen. But I do think what seems more realistic in my mind, potentially, if they don't get the value they want right now for 2026, I think they're very willing, and we've seen this before from Howie, to look at future years, just like they did with Hassan Reddick when they moved him. They traded him for a draft pick that they're going to be getting this year. Yeah. And Reddick, has been gone for multiple seasons now. So if it comes down to it, I think Howie is very much willing to be patient with that compensation in terms of future years.
We made a lot of talk. We had a lot of talk about the Eagles coaching staff and the offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach and everything else. They have a new quarterbacks coach. It's Parks Frazier, who was their passing game coordinator. I guess I was somewhat surprised just because I know they were interviewing guys outside the organization. It's a pretty important position when you think about their offense. So were you surprised it was Parks Frazier? And I don't really know much about him other than his first year, I think last year, was with the Eagles.
Yeah, I was surprised. He's reassigned, not even necessarily promoted, demoted. I mean, you could argue it's a promotion, but kind of weird in terms of the order of operations, how this happened, too. You go back to when the Eagles hired Sean Mannion, they announced Josh Grizzard the next day as their pass game coordinator. That was the role that Parks Frazier had. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess Parks Frazier might not be back, or who knows what's going to happen with him. And all of a sudden, we see him reassigned to quarterbacks coach, where he doesn't really have a lot of experience. He's never actually been a quarterbacks coach. He was an assistant quarterbacks coach there for the Colts for a little bit. So that's a little surprising to me, too. I would guess that Jalen Hurts likes Parks Frazier if this hire is happening, or at least doesn't dislike him.
Right.
So I guess there's that. There's the fact that he worked in Miami before coming to Philly last year, so he has some experience with Mike McDaniel. Obviously has experience working with Nick Sirianni in Indy as well, so maybe there's kind of like bridge the gap there between those systems and schemes that they like. But it was definitely a curious hire. I thought they would go with someone more experienced there.
BLG is still not sold on A.J. Brown being an Eagle in 2026. Wait, so Shefty put his percentage that, what did he say, Ray? It was 46% he gets traded?
I think that's where he was today, yeah, 46%.
Right. Where are you today, BLG? We got to keep track of you here. Wednesday, February 18th. What's the percentage?
I know it sounds crazy, but I've been saying it since the season ended, and I can't move off of it, especially with all that I had heard going back to him requesting a trade multiple times last year, which we had published on Bleeding Green Nation this offseason. I just think zero. I don't expect him back until I see it.
Dude, I was thinking maybe at least you'd go to 20-25%. I applaud you for still not believing it, because you know what? Like, what you're saying is true. He did ask for a trade multiple times, according to Joe Santoliquito and Bleeding Green Nation, multiple times last year during the season.
Yep. Yeah, as early as week 3 too. And they were 3-0, and they just won the Super Bowl. Like, if something changes, I think that's great. I don't want to be right about this, to be clear. I'm not like, they need to trade AJ. I think he should be here, but I just don't believe that he will be until I see it happen.
Great stuff, BLG. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Brandon Lee Galton, still at 0%, Ray. I went up all the way up to 80%. I'm such a sucker.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of that from BLG. Like, yeah, no shot.
No, it shows you he has better integrity than me. I float with the wind. Wind goes one way, I go with it.
Sorry if we're a little swayed by Adam Schefter coming on our airwaves and being like, we're safer than not.
Well, I don't know how much he swayed me, because it feels like Schefter's doing the same thing I am, which is, well, AJ did sound like he wanted to come back, and there's not a lot of chatter around. Here's the reality of it. It's still too early.
Yeah.
Next week at the Combine's when you're going to really get an idea what's happening. How willing is, how many conversations is Howie having?
Oh, 1 million.
Right.
That's Howie.
But also, if he didn't want to trade AJ or he wasn't open to it, are you having those conversations? He probably is, because you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
And it's good and I think Howie likes it.
Yeah. Oh, he likes getting into the mud.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he likes it.
He likes mucking it up a little bit with all those people.
I can't wait. There's going to be so many rumors out there.
You walk over to Bill's camp, like, hey, season ended with Brandon Cooks getting the football, didn't it?
Yep.
You know, it would be better for you. Walk over to the Patriots. You know what you guys could have used in the Super Bowl?
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown does a little bit.
Hey, Chargers, you know what your young quarterback that can't seem to get over the hump and win a playoff game needs? A.J. Brown. Hey, Andy Reid, you want the cheetah or you want A.J. Brown? Right? You'd probably take the cheetah, but
I stay away.
if you were
speed
Andy?
guy in his 30s that just had a dislocated kneecap and a bunch of ligament damage.
Yeah, but he's not getting $100 million. He's gonna make money on a shorter term, but
Yeah.
yeah, but also with AJ, you're giving up a first-round draft pick.
Right.
You're not giving up anything but money with, and honestly, he doesn't have a lot of leverage right now. There's only certain teams he would go play for. If you're a bad team, why would you want to overpay for Tyreek Hill? He may do it for the money, but are you winning because of Tyreek Hill coming there? No, that's probably a bad thing if you bring him in.
Yeah, I guess maybe I just have no interest in him, so that's probably clouded my judgment for someone else. Like I'm just totally team stay away.
Maybe. All right, well, there you go. Yeah, BLG, still not sold, 0%, 000. Hey, coming up news at noon, all right? And Ray, the news at noon with Ray Dunn, I had this parody song in my head for the news at noon. You remember what it is? I actually texted it to the text line so you can actually hear it. But I came up with a parody song just in my head of Let Me Hear from Ray Dunn. News at noon with Dun 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 Dun. It's the thong song by Cisco.
Yes.
With the news at noon. So I'm trying to put this challenge out there I want to do this through the end of the week. All right. However you can get, it can be as simple as you singing into your phone and sending our text line a text at 610-632-0975 or Instagramming or emailing or tweeting or whatever. But getting us doesn't even have to be produced. If you produce it and it sounds good, you're probably going to win. But we have Dave Matthews tickets to give away this week. And you know what? If you'd rather have 76ers tickets, we don't have any to give away this week. I'll make sure you get a pair of 76ers tickets. When we have them, we normally have them like every other week. I'll make sure you get some 76ers tickets. The best one by the end of the week. A News at Noon parody song that we will use as an alternate open to raise to the regular one we have. Maybe we include it in it. But I need to start getting some more content for our opens and our guests and things like that. So I'm trying to put it on the listeners to help us out because it's a fun part of the show.
I like that.
All right.
I also like your parody is a really good one. That's
the thong
turning
song?
the thong song into the news at noon intro is an all time. My brain only works in radio promotion and radio programming.
My whole life is a radio bit.
Yeah, yeah. Like I respect it as someone that feels like my brain works too much. Is how could this be spun around for radio stuff? Turning the thong song into a news at noon intro. That's all time radio brain right there.
Yep. Yeah, how do you think my wife feels? That's where my head is all the time. Like right now in my notes on my phone, I have the Border Patrol theme.
That's in my notes.
The Border Patrol is an Australian TV reality show where it's people trying to get through customs and immigrations into Australia, and it's like cops of that. And they're going through the luggage or they're interviewing in immigration, and I love it. I watch hours of it on YouTube. But the intro song to it's really good, and I like it for one of our segments that we'll use. Like, I don't know, some type of a news segment. It's 32-second song, and it's really good. So that's what's in I had a Paul Feinbaum 3:20 p.m. He had this caller. It's like Herb from Alabama on steroids. This guy called in. It wasn't Legend. It might as well have been. It was that type of a call.
The guy from Georgia. Oh my God, what's the guy from Georgia? See, radio brain
I think
here.
it's him.
Yeah.
Because Paul said, yeah, you said the exact same thing yesterday. So he was a daily call.
Oh my God, yeah. Is that the guy that had the tree fall through his house?
No, he said that he turned down all these scholarships to go to Jacksonville State instead of play for Bear Bryant with Alabama. And Paul was questioning him on why he would not play for Bear
Bryant at Alabama.
And would go to Jacksonville State.
Dude, his show, the callers are just...
It's Philadelphia Talk Radio in the South.
Yeah.
Times 100. No, but it is.
Kale the Boar.
Every caller's Herb. Herb's mad at me. I should text him.
Okay?
Why is he mad at you?
Because I didn't put him on a couple times that he called in.
Okay?
But you know who called in yesterday for the first time? Did you hear it? Cowboy Jim.
I did hear that. Yeah, no, that was irritating. That was...
Cowboy Jim is an all-time irritating caller.
Yeah. And I was a little upset when Jason extended the olive branch and he just, shot him down. All right, Cowboy Jim.
Right.
But good news, Landon Dickerson not retiring.
And you know what? It's the best reporting on Landon Dickerson out there because I know Cowboy Jim's talked to him. Guaranteed.
Fantastic. So this week, so far, Monday, we found out that our center was in Columbia. Right. And our guard right now is telling Cowboy Jim his future and no one else. Offensive line saved for next season,
We're
boys.
Good. What could possibly go wrong? Cowboy Jim is the only guy in the world that would tell everybody he's on the Eagles charter flight as a flight attendant, and he's a Cowboy fan and he rips the Eagles and does it publicly.
Yeah.
And no one does anything about it.
Nothing. That was also the crazy part of this thing. He's just yeah, this team stinks, but they also pay my salary. Yeah. That doesn't make much sense, man. I mean, credit to him. That's integrity right there. That's speaking your mind no matter where the paycheck's coming from. We know plenty of people that can be bought. Cowboy Jim can't be bought.
Nope. Boy, he can. Just not as an Eagle fan.
Yeah, well, he can be bought, I guess.
Oh, no one takes him too seriously.
Well, yeah. A guy that goes by Cowboy Jim. I mean, come on. That's exactly.
I looked up at the call screen and I'm like, oh my God, it's Cowboy Jim. He's my favorite. All right, coming up for the second time this week, we're going to put on our tinfoil hat. We tried to get into it yesterday. I ran out of time and I said, you know what? We're going to hold this for Ray. We'll talk about it tomorrow with Ray. The former president of the United States says that there's aliens. The former president of the United States says there's aliens. At what point do we just say, yes, there's aliens? There's many people that still resist this. And I always do this, Ray. I open up on the phone lines and the text line, 610-632-0975, to discuss this. And if you've ever seen a UFO or an alien, and people will call and text and say that they have, for sure. 610-632-0975. We'll play for you next what Barack Obama said about aliens and what he knows as president. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Oh, I got to talk about Parks Casino. My favorite place to go, the BetParks app. So listen, we talk about betting this, betting that. What about live betting? You can live bet pro basketball, pro hockey, college hoops. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app, the only app I would ever recommend. BetParks also has your favorite classic casino games right on your phone. You can play blackjack, craps, roulette, and hundreds of online slots, plus all your favorite sports. You can bet player performances and more. So join me on the BetParks app. You can live bet any game. Once the game starts, you can bet right in the game. New users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. BetParks.com for details, whether your team scores or not. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. You must be 21. And in PA, New Jersey, or Michigan, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
So no trade. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And the conversation surrounding the Eagles this offseason, the biggest one at least, has been A.J. Brown and whether or not he'll end up being traded. And for a while there, a lot of us were leaning the side. It looks like he's going to be traded. Now it seems like the tide's turning the other way. Adam Schefter on with Kincade and Salciunas earlier today talked about his expectations.
I said last week that I felt like it could go either way. My guess, if I had to guess, would be I'd lean towards the trade, but it could go either way. Flip it the other way, and I'd still say it still could go either way, but I'd lean safe rather than out.
He's leaning that he's going to stay instead of him leaving. Someone that's not leaning and someone that's made their decision on that one, Brandley Gowton, still 0% chance that A.J. Brown is back next season. He joined us in the last segment. You can listen to that entire conversation back on our website or the Fanatic app. Speaking of back, the Sixers will be back from the All-Star break tomorrow night against the Hawks. You can catch that game right here on the Fanatic. Union begin CONCACAF Cup action tonight in Trinidad and Tobago at 6 o'clock and are just 3 days away from opening up MLS action. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale is here. Score unbeatable deals and get matched with the perfect bed. They make sleep easy. I'm Ray Down, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Googled him. I've been in his Wikipedia.
Oh, no. Did I upset everyone north of the border?
No.
He's got more than one hit?
Well, I mean, no, but if you're a Tom Cochran fan, maybe you think. So he was in some group. No, because the country group had done a cover of this that was very popular.
Yeah.
And because my kids listened to it, I'm like, get this off. I want Tom Cochran.
Life is a Highway cover. Let's see.
It's a country art. It was very popular because my wife would have it on.
Rascal Flatts.
Yeah, Rascal Flatts. My wife would have it on, and then the kids would have it. I'm like, no, it's the wrong version.
Yeah, because they did it for the film Cars. There you go.
Yeah, you need Tom Cochran.
Obviously.
He's the OG. I mean, who doesn't know that?
Everyone's calling for Tom Cochran. Yeah. I actually heard he's going to sell out the Fillmore next week.
He might. He very well may. All right, so Barack Obama was on a podcast. And I don't even know how they got into talking about this or whatever. Have you seen recently, the government actually released all this video of all these unexplained, they're like planes and like, it was very, very weird. And they weren't releasing it saying like, hey, there's nothing to see here. They're releasing it more or less saying, hey, there's something that's going on and we can't explain it. First of all, do you believe that there's alien life?
I feel like we got to be pretty narcissistic to believe there's not anything else out there.
Yeah, agreed.
There's got to be something else out there.
Is there another universe like here on a different planet where they have sports talk radio and there's some sport that is unique to that planet? And they have a Herb from Northeast Philly from that planet that's calling in and doing okay?
Okay.
I'd like to believe there's another Herb out there. Just like I'd like to believe that somewhere out there right now, that sports talk radio station's talking about trading whatever the equivalent of their best wide receiver is.
Wouldn't that be great?
It would be awesome.
If we could just go to some app and listen to sports talk radio on the planet Voltan.
Yeah, and they're trying to figure out digital and everything else in the next stage of media on that planet too, I'm sure. There's just a totally alternate world.
Same thing.
Yep.
So here's where I am. That I agree with you. I think we'd be, I don't know if narcissistic would be the word, but naive to think that there isn't a possibility of something else, right? It's kind of like religion with me. I'm not a religious person. I also I'm not an atheist. I don't think it's like, bah, there's no God, there's no afterlife. You die and they die. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm sure there is something, or I think there is something. I'm not sure what it is, right? Same thing with possible aliens. I don't know what we're talking about. Do they look like, are they humans like us? Are they mutants that look like aliens in movies in the 80s?
Rooting for the mutant thing, to be honest with you. Like, I couldn't have a better looking alien. That would suck.
Do they live on Earth with us and we just don't know it? Yeah. Like, Maybe. Is that a possibility? You know, Roddy Piper was in a movie. Hot Rod, Roddy Piper was in a movie that it's a cult classic and it's weird, but it's called They Live. And he stumbles into it where if you put these special sunglasses on, then you can see who the alien is. And they look normal. They're normal human beings, but they're dangerous too. So you can see with these sunglasses who the aliens are. So I'm also open to aliens being on this planet. But anyway, Barack Obama having a conversation on a podcast. Take a listen.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
Right, there you go. And so there are aliens, and I heard some other conversations where, like, he's more or less like saying what we're saying, which is just like, yeah, like I think you're off if you don't think there's aliens. Do you believe in UFOs? Have you seen a UFO, Ray?
I have not seen a UFO. I mean, I guess I don't know the flying object that it is. I'm not that big into whole tracking planes thing, so I guess every flying object I see is unidentified for me. But yeah, I mean, there's been things moving in the sky. I've wondered what they were.
Remember off of Jersey and then even in Philly, and
drones.
That was some kind of military thing that was going on, we think. And obviously for national security, they're not going to be able to tell us everything they want to tell us. But if there's one person that knows the stuff that's going on out there, it's the president and people in that level of government.
Right. Which would lead you to believe, unless they're covering up from the president, plausible deniability there from the former president there and the whole alien thing. Yeah, I don't know of anything going on down there. I don't know what's happening at that. What's that
There's
place?
no underground area.
What do you guys
51
call that place? Area 51. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that place.
That place. Yeah, nothing going on there.
Yeah, there's no government.
No.
No government stuff going on with any of that.
Which, I mean, that would be tough when you think about it. It's more likely to me that the aliens are walking amongst us than they're all just in one spot.
They in some underground, they're caught and we're studying them.
Yeah. And, like, that also means that we would also have to be the superior to the aliens, that we were able to capture the alien and keep the alien there.
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any aliens on planet Earth.
Ooh, I don't know.
You disagree?
Man. I'm kind of rooting for it at this point. Like,
as long as it doesn't kill us.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I'm fine with it.
That's ideal. I would love peace between us and the aliens as well. If it comes down to it, like, I know I'm not winning.
Could you imagine that reaction day? There's aliens. It's been discovered there are aliens living among us.
The best would be, remember, sports today. The aliens have landed on Earth. All right, guys, but we got to debate who should lead off for the Phillies. We'll get to the aliens coming up a little bit later. 610-632-0975.
Hang on a second. Let's take a look at the line at the 76ers game tonight. They're 3.5-point favorites over the Wizards. That line's telling me Wizards. Little light.
Aliens have landed on Earth, and we're going to debate today Joel Embiid era. Is it over here in Philadelphia? 610-632-0975.
There you go. We could even have alien hosts. Some have suggested we do have alien hosts, right?
Yeah.
Any UFO sightings on the text line? Because that's normally where you get people that. Because like I seen things where I was like, "What the hell is that?" Because by its term, it's an unidentified flying object. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's a spacecraft or a alien space shuttle that's out there.
I've not gotten anything. Oh, there.
There we go.
Nope.
No alien lovers out there?
No, someone that just really wants their A.J. Brown point to come across. See, that's where we're at as a society. The aliens could land here, and we'd be more busy talking about the wide receiver.
Would you consider dating an alien if they seemed relatively normal? Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. I mean, you can't rule it out, certainly. You don't know what's like.
Of course you would. It's something new.
Right. And that's also like, again, that's why I'm kind of rooting for the mutant whole alien thing. Because the idea of aliens landing here that would be better looking, that would significantly hurt my dating pool even more, would be bothersome. Like, imagine the aliens drop here and they're just better looking humans.
That would be an ego blow.
That would suck.
That would suck.
That would be brutal. I would hate that.
It's bad enough as it is being short. I got to compete against taller people.
Right.
I got to compete against better looking people.
Yeah. Like
aliens.
This alien's just like, all of them show up and they're all like 6'4" with like chiseled jawlines. It's like, well, I hate you guys. Like,
that'd be tough. That'd be tough.
They show up to my planet and they already look better than me without Planet Fitness. Like, that sucks.
Greg in Bethlehem wants to talk about aliens. Greg, what's up, buddy?
Good morning. How are you?
Hi, Greg.
Hey, I got to believe in aliens primarily because of, and I don't know what they call them, but there's these formations, particularly in South America, that supposedly only make sense if you visualize them from space. And I don't imagine that the Aztecs did much in the way of spacecraft. So, your assumption has to be that they're related to aliens.
Right. Sometimes I feel like an alien, Greg. I work with aliens. We'll see. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder. So Obama also clarified his comments later on.
Ah, really?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's the former president. He's got to make sure people are like, oh, my God.
I respect also the fact that you get the president in front of you, and it's like, you know what I have to ask about? Aliens. I need an answer on the whole alien thing. There's about 1,000 things you could ask Obama. The fact that aliens is at like the top 10 of your list.
Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there. The distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens are low, and I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us. That's how I feel. It'd be really difficult to go from a different solar system here, but I mean, there's enough videos out there from planes or these weird, not even planes, like they're this. What the hell is that? I don't know.
By the way, we got a text on the text line. Only an alien would deny that there are aliens on Earth. What are you telling us, Johnny?
That I'm an alien?
You've been accused of being an alien.
Well, listen, I guess it's a possibility. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. The news at noon's coming up at noon at 12 o'clock. Baseball's in a really weird spot right now because they're almost certainly going to be a work stoppage. And the president of the Players Association yesterday resigned under very strange circumstances. And then you have Bryce Harper and him yelling at Rob Manfred and whatever. Like, are we staring down the barrel of a work stoppage in baseball? We probably are. And I got something with Bryce Harper. I heard a caller with Bill and Ricky yesterday, and this caller was pissed at the conversations happening with Bryce Harper. We'll talk about that as well. It's Middays with Marks 97.5, The Fanatic. Let's talk about my hair for a second. My hair looks tremendous. I have beautiful hair, like somebody once said. Where is it? You have beautiful hair.
Yeah, beautiful hair.
Yep, it's not because of genetics. It's not because I have beautiful hair. It's because of Morgenstern Hair Restoration. That's correct. The experts in the industry, over 30 years, their hair team, has been the best, most experienced, most success. My hairline right now, it's not because of great genetics. It's because of Morgenstern Hair. So we're talking about hair transplant. I had hair transplant with Morgenstern Hair. My hairline was receding. My hair was thinning. And I said, you know what? Let's go for it. The results are amazing. Watch me on YouTube. Look at my Instagram. Look at my Twitter. You can see what my hair looks like every day in real life. And that's Morgenstern Hair. And in this month, in February, you receive a full year of Nutrafol if you're a new patient when you're booking your hair transplant. That's helping your hair transplant stay strong and healthy, thriving long term. And there's also non-invasive hair restoration options for men and for women. So maybe you're just not liking where your hair is going. You know that it's thinning. You can see your hairline going back. Non-invasive options for men. This is 2026. The science and technology is out there for you to keep your hair, for you to get your hair back. That's why you go to Morgenstern Hair. Most experience and most success. Their number, you can speak to their hair team. 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. Their website, Morgan with an A, morgansternhair.com. Morgansternhair.com, 610-831-HAIR.
The NBA All-Star break is over, and it's time.
The Fanatic News at noon coming up with Ray Dunn. Dun, dun, dun. This story came out yesterday, and it was like, wow. All right. Tony Clark, who is the longtime executive director of the MLB Players Association, resigned after an internal investigation led to the discovery of an improper relationship with his sister-in-law.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, God.
I mean, this is...
Hey, cheating is cheating. Sister-in-law?
Sister-in-law, co-worker. I mean, you got HR, you got family, you got every little thing that you could possibly unwind here being unwound.
The sister-in-law was hired by the MLBPA in 2023, according to ESPN. You know, you don't know what goes on in relationships and things like that. And I try not to be judgmental when people get divorced or there's cheating that's accused or whatever. But like, damn, with your wife's sister? Wow.
Yikes.
I mean, what's worse, her mom? I almost think that wouldn't be as bad than the sister. That's...
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I weigh in on this one just off the cuff here, I'll probably end up just saying something wrong here. So probably neither one are good.
Neither one are good. And that beard's wild, too. I guess I hadn't seen a picture of Tony Clark in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's like a Santa Claus beard on him. But anyway, geez. So he resigns, and there's already been anybody that really follows this stuff, there's nobody that thinks there's not going to be some type of a lockout and a delay to the season. The owners are hell-bent on the salary cap. It's pretty much every owner against the Dodgers owner and Steve Cohen of the Mets because they want to spend and they don't really care. And the rest of the owners are saying, like, hey, no, like, just this is getting out of control, and it's bad for baseball. And from a fan's perspective, I mean, like, I'm not Bryce Harper where I'm like, yeah, Dodgers, right? Like, Bryce Harper's fully behind what the Dodgers are doing. I recognize it's bad for baseball. There's got like them being able to defer whatever they want to and push everything into the future. There's got to be something that changes. You can't have going into the season. How many teams can win the World Series this year? Right, like a handful. I know it's like that in basketball too, but with baseball, it seems like that like there's a couple teams that can win. And the great thing about the NFL is that really year to year, who was expecting the Patriots to be in the Super Bowl this year? Who was picking the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl this year? Not many people.
No, not many people.
Right, and that the unpredictability, the idea that you're not going to be constantly buried. If you're a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, if you're now a Miami Marlins fan, or any team that doesn't spend money and doesn't care, starting the season you have no chance, and that's a really, really bad place to be if you're baseball. It is.
I mean, the argument on the other side is there's bad organizations in every sport, regardless of having a cap. Like, how many years as a Jets fan do you go in thinking, oh, yeah, we got a shot. But I feel good.
But there's also a cap in every other sport.
I understand that, but there's bad organizations in every other sport.
There are, and the cap, like the NBA cap's fugazi. The NFL cap's fugazi. I don't know enough about the hockey cap to where if you can circumvent it. So there's not really a hard cap in any league. So I don't really, because if there's going to be a cap, then there has to be a floor. So teams like the Pirates don't just take all the Pirates make a ton of money by not spending money, by being bad every year. So ownership, what do they care? Revenue sharing and things like that, luxury tax, they make money based on other teams spending a lot of money, which they don't get. So it just seems like that the players are never going to agree to it. Outside of the owners saying, okay, we'll have to sit out a year. And then when players start being like, hang on, I need to start getting paid again. The Bryce Harpers and all those players, they're fine.
Yeah.
They can take a hard stance. It's the average player. It was like this with the NFL. The reason why the NFL never actually strikes is because for every Russell Wilson and quarterback that's making $30 million, $40 million a year, and really now there's a lot of players that make a lot of money, for the rest of the league that has a 3, 4, or 5 year career that doesn't make a ton of money, not having a guaranteed contract, can they afford to sit out a year? That's a year they need to be playing. Because now they reach 28, 29, and they're not as athletic as they were, and they just sat out a year because of a strike. Maybe they don't even get back in the league.
And I think Harper kind of speaks to that in the sense that you have a certain amount of time that you can play baseball. As an owner, you make money, you can own the team. If you own the team, the only reason you're not owning the team is you do something so catastrophically bad they throw you out of the league. or you sell the team. And when you sell the team, you're still going to make a decent amount of chunk of change on selling that team. Like, for the players, there's only a certain amount of time they could make their money. And if you look at the way that everything's structured with finally getting to free agency, the number of years you have to survive Major League Baseball and be a productive Major League Baseball player to actually get yourself that good free agent contract is a while, given arbitration and just how long a team has the rights to you. So I think if you see them really push the salary cap, I think there's a lot of downslope impact that you're going to have of like, okay, then we can't be under team control as long as we are. We can't be under club control as long as we are. We have to rewrite that portion of everything because they're going to want to get their money earlier, because by the time they finally get their paycheck, yeah, these stars are getting big money, but these other guys that have to battle year to get to the actual place to get your free agent payday, it's tough. Like, you see these contracts where it's like 7 years for $80 million, like the Braves, for example. Like, yeah, we're going to give you more money than you would get just sitting under club control.
Right.
That's great. But is it limiting your earning potential? Like, it's either a take it now and guarantee yourself this money, or one bad injury for you, one bad season for you, and you're battling an arbitration case and not making nearly what you could.
So the difference in the NBA between the highest payroll and the lowest payroll, this is where it differs from baseball, right? So the Phoenix Suns, at least according to basketballreference.com, their payroll this year is $219 million, almost $220 million. I don't know with luxury tax and stuff like that how much they have to pay, because that's like, I understand baseball luxury tax. I don't understand it as much with the aprons in basketball.
Yeah, I threw the aprons in there, but it got lost.
The Sixers payroll is $190. So the Suns have spend $30 million more in actual salary. The lowest payroll in the league is the Brooklyn Nets at $154. And the Grizzlies at $165. So $219 and $154. In baseball, the Marlins pay their payroll $78 million, and the Dodgers is $390. It's $300 million, over $300 million of difference. The Mets is not far behind the Dodgers. The Phillies have a $311 million payroll. So you look at the Marlins, 78, Cleveland's 94, Washington's 102, Tampa Bay's 105. White Sox are 105. Colorado's 105. So the bottom six teams are spending, $285 million less than the top team. And it's not just the top team. The Blue Jays have a $300 million payroll. The disparity of $200 million between the bottom five and the top five, the fifth team's $300 million. $200 million in difference. I just don't know how you do that.
So if you're the owners this year, are you rooting for the Dodgers?
No, the owners are not rooting for the Dodgers.
This season? If the Dodgers three-peat, and then it becomes, well, the competitive balance in this sport's entirely off.
So they're rooting for them to win,
something.
so it gets fixed. Gotcha.
Like that, is that the ultimate end of this? Like if the Tigers, I don't know, I'm just throwing a team out there. Like someone low payroll ends up winning 96 games and finds a way into a World Series and wins it. How does that impact this offseason?
Right.
Because they want the salary cap. But that their biggest thing, like the biggest way they're going to try and sell this to get public sport behind it is going to be the competitive balance of the sport's been thrown off. We can't have this anymore. Your baseball is being ruined by the lack of a salary cap. That's how you get public sport behind it.
Which, by the way, the public is behind Stop the Dodgers. So the players are going to be fighting an uphill climb here.
Which is why it's notable that both Machado and Harper on the same day said that they're in favor with the Dodgers.
Correct. Agreed.
They want everyone to know that, hey, you could spend money. Your owner's going to make money.
All right, so the 15, so right down the middle, the Diamondbacks payroll is $186 million. The Dodgers are $390. So even between the middle, so that'd be the median team, is spending $200 million less than the Dodgers. And that team's spending over $100 million more than the bottom team. So it's like the Rangers, $200 million, the Diamondbacks, $186. Even if you go down to the Pirates are spending $120 this year. But again, that's $270 million less than the Dodgers. So even if you eliminate the Dodgers, $390, the Mets, $368, the Yankees, $333, the Phillies, $311, the Blue Jays, $300, San Diego spends $362. So it isn't just the Dodgers. It's also how they manipulate the contracts and spread things into the future.
Right.
Any of these other teams could do that. The Phillies could defer payroll if they wanted to.
And the issue I think I see with this is, I think it was Boris that criticized the TV contracts. The owners right now, I think there's a lot of them that feel their revenue's in jeopardy because they don't know what the future of regional sports networks are. And for a while, that was your broadcast revenue.
And that's totally different.
And it's totally different. I don't know if they figured out how they're going to monetize what's next. If this ESPN thing works with MLB TV for them this season, maybe they're in a better mood. But I think that plays a part into this, too, of like, am I going to make as much money? Do I know?
And if you account for what the Dodgers are estimated to pay in luxury tax, they have $136 million they're staring down on luxury tax. So you do the math. That's $490. That's $525. So their real payroll could be $525 million compared to the lowest, which is $78.
$500 million.
That's unbelievable. They're going to spend $450 million more than the bottom team, and they're going to and then the team right down the middle, Arizona, they're going to spend. I mean, 186. That they're spending $300 million more. That's not healthy for the sport. It's not. You have to. No other sport has that type of difference in payroll. You have teams that are going to spend money. You have teams that aren't going to spend money. You have cheap teams. But there's no team in the NFL that's spending $400 million less than the top team in the NFL.
Right. I look at where we got and I ask how we got here.
You got here because you got. I mean, what the Phillies are estimated to pay $50 million in luxury tax.
Yeah, I just understand. There's 30 teams that are trying to amass talent when it comes to drafting and building it within their organization. Are there 30 teams that wanted to reward their talent over the last decade?
No, teams like Pittsburgh trade their guys away. Anybody that's good, Pittsburgh knows they're going to leave.
That's what I mean.
Trade them.
So, like, yeah, you want to stop the Dodgers now, but you all enabled the Dodgers to do this.
Agreed. It's not the Dodgers' fault. I don't blame the Dodgers. I blame the system.
Right.
All right, coming up next, News at Noon featuring Giannis, a celebrity game idea, and Chris Paul. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The return of AJ. I'm Ray done with this Fanatic Sports Update. While AJ Brown is under contract to play for the Eagles next season, that has not stopped trade speculation dating all the way back to last offseason. It's been the big topic of this early on offseason. Adam Schefter today was on with Kincade and Salciunas and said some teams are skeptical the Birds are going to actually deal him.
I don't think it's changed. It's just, I think when I speak to some other teams, I think they're a little bit more skeptical than I expected to hear that the Eagles would trade A.J. Brown.
Now, someone who's skeptical of people being skeptical is Brantley Gouton, who joined us earlier on in the show. He still believes A.J. Brown's going to be dealt. You can listen back to that conversation on our app or our website. Sixers return from the All-Star break tomorrow night against the Hawks. You'll be able to listen to that game right here on the Fanatic. Union begin CONCACAF Cup action tonight in Trinidad and Tobago at 6 o'clock. They're just 3 days away from opening up MLS action. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and sport at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Ray on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Fanatic. John Marks, Ray Dunn. As Ray's back from North Carolina, got in at 3:30 this morning. Weather delays. It's like plane, trains, and automobiles getting back, huh?
It's a stupid fog, man. We finally got rid of all that snow. Now it's all foggy.
Yep. Yeah, it's causing it.
I couldn't, legitimately last night, trying to get onto the highway to get back home, but I couldn't see lane in front of me. Apparently every light that we put up ever is just out, and we've decided, we're not going to replace the lights. Why? Why would we replace the lights? Nobody needs to see on 95.
Yeah, only in Philadelphia, as Doc Rivers once said. Yep, that's why I don't live
whether you like it or not.
Well, it's not even Philadelphia. It's 95 next to the airport. It's not even like it's just Philadelphia using it. This is like, it's technically Delaware County. I don't know what this is. This is technically Philadelphia. Just fix 95. It's a federal, this is just takes people up northeast, down south. I mean, this connects to Florida. Fix it.
And Ray, you got to do a lot of traveling. With traveling comes these issues. Flight delays, diverted flights, bus trips, everything else. All right. Well, there you go. Ricky Bo has entered the building.
Yeah, we're not doing anything here.
Right. You're not
nothing going on here.
Ray's not about to do the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the news at noon
That's the coolest big story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
We're still seeking out our parodies. I saw we got a voice memo. I didn't get a chance to listen to it from Pat in Plymouth Meeting.
We did.
So I'm interested to see what the parody song will be. We will start judging them. But again, if you want your parodies for the News at Noon intro, we'll start rolling with that.
I have a pair of 76ers tickets, or if you want Dave Matthews tickets, to the best parody song we get by the end of the week, to News at Noon, to use in the News at Noon intro.
Correct. And tomorrow's News at Noon intro will be a Thong Song Thursday. We will go with the Thong Song parody that was put together by
me.
Yes.
By me. All right.
All right, let's start with Giannis, because this is hilarious. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, where it was, he's not asking out. The Bucks are just looking to move him, because the Bucks are looking to move the superstar in the small market instead of the superstar in the small market looking to go elsewhere. He was asked, he was sat down to interview about winning a championship in Milwaukee or winning another championship in general. Take a listen.
You're not okay with staying in Milwaukee and never having that feeling?
No. I want to win, but the most important thing, I want to win a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. And if that's not on the table or in the plans, so that's when you kind of like, okay, maybe I got to pivot because I really want to win.
I want to win a championship with Milwaukee. That's most important. But if I can't, then that's when you have to start to pivot. No kidding, man. That's called a trade request.
Right.
Teams have done it before. They've honored it before. They'll do it again.
But you see what I mean? I've been on this for a while, because people will try to say, well, he's never demanded a trade. Yeah, he has. Unless the Bucks are telling him, sorry, Giannis, we're never going to try to win a championship with you here. They're not. I doubt they're saying that.
Right.
Does it mean that they can build another championship contender with Giannis? I mean, they could. It may be possible they can't. But ultimately, he's deciding whether or not he wants to stay or not. I mean, this isn't absurd. Players ask to be traded all the time. Shaquille O'Neal demanded to be traded. Guys get traded. It's okay, Giannis. You don't have to try to pretend, no, I want to stay with the Bucks. I'm not trying to be traded. Yes, you are.
You won Milwaukee a title.
Yes.
That's great. They'll have that forever. You'll be honored when they come back at the 10-year reunion. You'll get your jersey retired. You're just treating this so weird at this point. It's been a decade. The guy was drafted in the same draft as Michael Carter-Williams. It's been over a decade.
Crazy.
He's been there a while, all right? Come on. Just say what you mean. Just say you want out.
Say you want to be traded. I agree with you.
And if you don't want to make a distraction in season, fine. Wait till the offseason, but then don't do these interviews. Just politely decline.
Was that what was that from?
I think it was ESPN News On.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was a his brother's podcast.
No. Yeah, that's a good point. His brother does need the clicks, because if Giannis gets traded, I don't know if another organization is going to be like, yeah, let's take up a roster spot with your brother that's not going to play.
It's not likely.
Yeah. No. All right. Moving on. Speaking of podcasts, we'll take you actually to the FanDuel Sports Network, the Run It Back show with Lou Williams, DeMarcus Cousins, Michelle Beadle, the whole crew rolling through here. DeMarcus Cousins has an idea for what we should get in the next celebrity game. He wants the journalists that criticize the players out there and playing.
That's exactly the next celebrity game. That's what we should do. We should have
We should have a guy like Brian Windhorst in a 12X jersey out there showing us what type of athlete he is.
Boogie
I think that would be
Winnie's
great.
cool. Hold on. I love Winnie. Come on.
But we also talking about a guy that has critiqued a lot of players, talked about
Yeah, but he's
performances
not an
and all of
ass.
these things. So this is a chance to go show us how much of an athlete you are. Stephen
saw a
A.
dude
Smith,
run.
another
I
guy
saw a
that has-
highly paid
and
dude
I got
run
a lot
at
of
Super
love
Bowl.
for. I got a lot of love. But hey, let's get these guys in jerseys and let's see what type of athletes you are. That would be much watch TV. I would love
One night a year, Boogie, we get to criticize them.
Yeah, that's the celebrity game in Boston.
Yeah.
With Joe Mazzulla.
That's Joe Mazzulla's idea. Congratulations on just inventing what Joe Mazzulla just did, where the journalists played the coaches.
Yeah, that'd be great. DeMarcus Cousins, hard fouling Brian Windhorst. Would Stephen A. play in the game?
That's what they were going towards.
Yeah.
Stephen A. And you could tell who Michelle was trying to reference there.
Everything with her is always going to be about Stephen A.
But, all right, I'd also love they came to Wendy's defense. As a big Brian Windhorst guy myself, I was very happy that he was shut down there. Like, all right, Windhorst's not the guy to go after him.
Who's a big Brian Windhorst fan?
Me, man.
Why?
The guy's great theater. He doesn't get nearly the credit for what he is. When every time he's on a television hit, he gives you something. He gives you a very intriguing, at least, where he's like trying to lure you in for a little bit. When he's on that podcast, he'll give you some sort of dumb bit where he's going off on someone. He has not sold himself to the take, but he has sold himself sometimes to the insane, where he'll just start walking down a path where he says something that's like, I don't even know where this guy, like the Maxey thing, where prime Michael Jordan, hang up. It's sourced information, but he makes it more entertaining than just the, well, I'm hearing that.
Right.
Yeah.
I like Windhorst. I've never heard somebody consider themselves a big Windhorst fan.
Man, I'm all in on it.
All right, all in on
Give me a good
Windhorst.
wind gust. Come on.
All
I
right.
need windy. But to that point, I want to put a bow on that piece of audio with, this would be the night that we get to criticize them. I mean, come on.
Well, how about you go on your podcast and criticize what they do, or like evaluate their writing, right? Like I get it. You're like, well, Windhorst isn't an athlete. He made fun of him for being fat. He said he's a 12X
Right.
or whatever. Like, okay, well, he's criticizing you as an NBA reporter. You criticize him then for his writing or what he says, on TV.
Correct. I mean, it's just like, oh, yeah, Brian Windhorst has really, really derailed your guys' careers and really been such a detriment. Like, do these guys think they exist above criticism? And do they think Windhorst exists above criticism? You just said it. There's not a single big Windhorst guy out there. You want to know why? Because Windhorst is a journalist. You guys have fans. You know how many journalists have fans? Like,
yeah, you and a couple other people.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, now we get to criticize them. Yeah, the only reason you get criticized is because you have the high-profile job in which you actually have fans. These people have high-profile jobs in which everything Windhorst reports, someone's like, you're an awful person, and this report is stupid.
DeMarcus Cousins' career earnings, what would you say it is?
Not
as much as I would have thought. $97 million.
Oh, yikes, he's hurting. Maybe he should go into the criticizing Windhorst business.
Maybe
Get himself to $100 million.
He should work for ESPN with all the other ex-athletes.
Yeah, there you go. Well, FanDuel Sports Network. There
There
it
you
is. All right, last one for you here. Chris Paul. It's over. All right, it's over, Johnny. It's done for him. His career is done. He didn't get the retirement tour. And he went on Carmelo Anthony's, I think it was a live podcast that Carmelo was doing, talked about the end with the Clippers and the awkward nature of, hey, man, you're a franchise legend, but we're going to get rid of you early on into your last season of your career.
If this organization has any sort of sense, that number 3 is going to go in the rafters one day.
That's a given. He said that to me before he sent me home.
CP, we all going to retire your jersey, but your service is no longer needed.
Before I left the room, I asked him, I was like, so, L. Frank, you said you was going to get me a meeting with T. Lou, right? He said, I'm sorry, I couldn't do that. Go home.
He couldn't get him a meeting with Tyronn Lue before they got rid of him. Chris Paul we're talking about. We're not talking about Cliff Paul. We're not talking about...
Oh, I love Cliff Paul.
Yeah, great. It was a great commercial back in the day. We're not talking about some random point guard that... We're not... With all due respect to the guy the Sixers just signed, Campaign. You know, Campaign gets cut. He doesn't get a meeting with Nick Nurse. All right? Daryl Morey tells him. Whoever Daryl Morey sends to tell him tells him. And that's it. It's over. This is Chris Paul.
Yeah, the whole thing was weird. All right? It was weird. But Chris Paul now retired. Very funny. Did Cliff Paul try to get a meeting? Were they confused and they thought it was Cliff Paul? And that's
Cliff
what they
Paul
said
might have
no?
had better leadership, according to the Clippers, in that last season.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well,
God
there you
forbid
go.
that Chris Paul wanted communication amongst teammates.
Yeah, I like. Is he too much of a hard ass? Because with Chris Paul, it was always he's the ultimate leader and he's a veteran guy that you want. By the way, he could still play deep into his 30s too. He was still a good player. But anytime you hear like, oh well, he was just too much, that means that the guys that the star players don't want to hear his crap, and it becomes a point. Like Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is he like arguing with the star? Is he arguing with Joel Embiid and being like, man, you got to do this, got to do that? No, man, something tells me he's sitting on the end of the bench and he's being supportive and he's helping guide Maxey and Edgecombe.
Right.
He's not starting fights with people. Chris Paul's challenging people, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's just someone in that locker room should, right?
Yeah, but they don't want that. Ty Lue don't want that. Lawrence Frank doesn't want that. Kawhi doesn't want that.
And Chris was saying, Chris, like we're friends. Chris Paul was saying in that clip that him and Kawhi talked every week. Like they still going back and forth. It's like, all right, then who was the disconnect with?
Yeah.
Just you and Tyronn Lue hate each other?
Because Harden got traded. Probably. You know what? Probably.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Tyronn Lue's like, whoa.
Yeah, because why would him and Kawhi be at odds with everything? No, you're right. They're
Right.
not. That's very weird. All right. News at noon. Thank you, Ray. And again, get your parodies in so you can do it text line where if you know how to send, like, because Ray, I did it earlier. I did one. So you go to, you put 610-632-0975 in your phone, and then you go to the text and you boom, and then that little plus sign to the left of where you write your text, hit the plus sign, and then there's a tab that says audio. You click the audio tab, and then it just starts recording. So you can say, News at noon with Ray Dunn. News at noon. Dun, 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 dun. And so before we do it, I got to come up with a second verse to it. And then you hit stop and you send it. That's how it goes. So you can Instagram us, you can tweet us, you can do the text line, however you want to get it to us. The best one by the end of the week, we'll judge it. Maybe you only get a couple that comes in. I have either a pair of Sixers tickets for you when we get them next, or we have Dave Matthew Band concert tickets that we have to give away the rest of the week, Ray. So stay tuned for that. Rest in peace, Jesse Jackson. I don't know if you saw this yesterday. Jesse Jackson, who ran for president a couple times there back in the 80s. He passed away age of 84. I bring that up because once upon a time, they drafted, what was Carson Wentz draft, 2016, I guess?
Yeah.
It was in Chicago. Jamie Lynch, I went with the morning show, Anthony, Jamie Lynch, Marine. We went to the draft. We broadcasted live from Chicago, and we were at the draft. And at the draft, we're walking like outside of the theater. It was before they decided, like Philly was the first city that they put everything outside, and they made it this big, huge deal. It wasn't in New York, but it was in Chicago, but it was in this famous theater in Chicago, like Roosevelt something. I don't know. But so we're like outside where, like, we're indoors, but we're outside of the theater part where you buy popcorn and concessions and things like that. And I'm with Jamie, and Jamie's dressed in Eagles Zumba pants and a jersey. He's like a 1990s Eagles jersey, 1980s Eagles jersey. I'm dressed in a pair of jeans and an Eagles hoodie. We look like two idiot fans. And Jesse Jackson's walking by us, or we're walking by Jesse Jackson, and Jamie Lynch goes, "Yo, Rev, big fan. Can I get a pic?" So he goes, "Sure." We go over and someone snapped a picture of us. And thank God Jamie did it because I had a picture with Jesse Jackson. So I posted that on my Instagram stories that you can see right now. It's at John Marks Media. I don't know if you saw it. You were busy last night.
I did. I love that I know the backstory behind that.
Yo, Rev, big fan. Can I get a pic? Word for word, man. Jamie's always something else. It was awesome.
Yep, that's Jamie. Oh, that's awesome.
It's crazy. We did the show that morning from, I guess it was the because their station out there, their ESPN station was corporately owned at the time. Now it's not, but it was corporately owned by ESPN. So they gave us a studio, and the studio was like you're looking out on the street. And at the time, I didn't realize what big stars they were. But Jamie booked Big Cat, and PFT Commenter.
He did,
and I didn't know who they were.
That's the early part of my take too.
They came live and did the show with us for I don't even know, like for maybe maybe even an hour.
Really?
But Jamie was like, yeah, I got Big Cat. And I'm like, I don't know who they are. I don't know part of my take contest. Yeah, this is 10 years ago.
That's Jamie Lynch.
He was in early.
Producer right there.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, that was my 2 highlights from Chicago's a great city. I've been there many, many times.
I knew that they had been on with Anthony before because they've referenced Anthony before. I think that they did a bit where they had him on hold, and I think they played the Rocky theme song at one point.
They did a bit where they produced it, and it seemed like Anthony was on hold for the entire show because they produced it that way where he wasn't. Good. They kept, I remember exactly what you're talking about. Anthony had said something, and they were bringing him on to talk about it, and they made him wait on hold.
But I didn't realize it all started actually live in person in Chicago. I thought just one had caught wind of the other, and there had been like a radio hit at some point. I didn't realize you guys spent like an hour with the two of them a decade ago.
Yeah, looking back, it's pretty interesting. They've obviously developed into huge stars, and at the time, I guess they were. But outside, the podcast space has become increasingly popular over the last however many years. But 10 years ago, it was like podcasts.
Right.
I'm on the radio. Oh.
Yeah, well, I remember listening to them 10 years ago being like, oh, they got something cooking here. This is interesting.
Yeah,
and it's like everyone. And then that was the first wave of everyone and their mother had a podcast. And then I think it was really the athlete realized that, the athlete push to podcast kind of got there. Then it became.
Well, the podcast, the athlete podcast push is much different than the initial podcast push where everybody had a podcast.
Which it was, people listen to stuff like that, and people like my age were like, oh, we're just as funny as Big Cat and PFT. It's like, no, you're not. You're not.
Hey, we can do it.
Yeah, we can do it. Our conversations are like theirs. It's like, no. They've listened to so much content that they are able to, it's a meta version of what we're doing here, and it's really freaking good.
Yeah, they're OGs, man, for sure. Hats off to them for doing what they did. All right, Adam Schefter joined Kincade and Salciunas earlier today. He has kind of reset himself on the A.J. Brown situation. A lot of people thought A.J. Brown was as good as gone. Schefter, even a couple weeks. Remember, Schefter said he didn't care about it before. We cared more than he does. But now he realizes this is something he needs to talk about. And he shifted. He's still a coin flip if he's going to get traded or not. I don't know. It feels like that he's not going anywhere. Based on his conversations, I don't know. I think we're being naive to think that it's going to be as cut and dry and as simple as that. Maybe behind the scenes, everybody kind of understands that it's going to, like very much up in the air. It all depends on what teams are willing to give up. If a team steps up with a 1+, do they make the trade? I honestly don't know. I don't. Maybe the Eagles think that they can legitimately win another Super Bowl last year, and why would we get rid of A.J. Brown? Maybe they act like that because they want to try to get teams to pay up even more. I don't know.
I'm just saying, Mr.
Core values.
Maybe it's your job to make sure the vibes are high with a good wide receiver.
And Brandon Lee Galton earlier talked about how, like, the quarterback and the head coach, maybe it's time to move on from A.J.'s perspective because of the quarterback and the head coach. Now the head coach gets involved with A.J., and then it's like, oh, that's right. They were screaming at each other.
Were we in a debate?
On the sideline. It's kind of isn't that the last image we think of the season?
Oh, I don't know. I think that ball being floated in triple coverage to Dallas Goedert tipped away. Luckily, my lasting image isn't Brandon Graham being upset when he came back from retirement and his season ended in a first-round loss. The way that's my lasting image from 2023.
Oh, he's going to be back this year.
Yeah, so it's not retirement.
Right.
Thank you, 97.5.
What could possibly go wrong? All right, coming up, Phillies talk. A caller went nuts yesterday on Ricky and Bill. We have that for you because it's about Bryce Harper. And do we really Bryce Harper had a good season last year. Not a great season, not an MVP season. Bryce Harper had a good season last year. Why is everybody, does it feel like everybody thinks that Bryce Harper actually sucked last year? He didn't. Also, Otto Kemp talked with our buddy Tim Kelly down in Clearwater. Get in the zone, Otto zone. Phillies talk coming up next. Are we being unfair with Bryce Harper? The answer is yes. That's next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Bringing Brown back. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The big topic of the Eagles offseason so far has been whether or not A.J. Brown will remain with the Philadelphia Eagles. And Adam Schefter was on this morning with Kincade and Salciunas and saw a little bit of a different tune when it comes to where A.J. will be next season.
Like I said last week that I felt like it could go either way. My guess, if I had to guess, would be I'd lean towards the trade, but it could go either way. Flip it the other way, and I'd still say it still could go either way, but I'd lean safe rather than out.
So Schefter now leaning that he'd be back. Brandley Gowton has not shifted at all in his thought process. He joined us earlier on in the show and still believes that A.J. Brown will be traded. We'll continue to talk about it as it continues to be a storyline following this Eagles team, especially ahead of the Combine next week. Sixers return from the All-Star break tomorrow night against the Hawks. We'll have that game for you right here on the Fanatic. Union being CONCACAF Cup action tonight in Trinidad and Tobago at 6 o'clock. They're just 3 days away from opening up MLS action. This update is brought to you by Morgenstern Medical. This February at Morgenstern Hair Restoration. When you book a hair transplant, receive a full year of Nutrafol absolutely free. Call 610-831-HAIR or visit morgensternhair.com. I'm Riggs on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Service First HVAC, 0% financing, 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. All right. Yesterday, I'm driving home, and I think this Bryce Harper conversation is interesting because it started with Dombrowski after the season, and then Bryce had something to say, but it does seem like that maybe some people are starting to turn on Bryce, or as the years go and as they get further away from being in a World Series, and as he doesn't perform in the playoffs, which he didn't last year, he knows his he 3 for 15 in the playoffs last year. He knows what his numbers are. I heard him talking about it on that podcast. He knows it. And I think Bill gives the numbers on the air too. But I think we're not looking at the big picture with Bryce Harper. Is that Bryce Harper is still, I'm going to feel like Dave Dombrowski here, he's still an all-star level player. We have a good club. That I think he can be back to being an MVP player. He's not 35, right? So have we seen the best Bryce Harper that we're going to see? Yeah, it's a possibility we have. But I also think he's got a year or two left in him where it's like, wow, Bryce is having a really good year. This isn't a player that's deteriorating before our eyes. I don't believe that. This is still a very good player. All right, so what do we want to do, right? Do we want to play the call and then we'll talk about it? So
I just want the open on the call first. Before we get to the actual meat of Bill giving him the numbers and the guy going off on him, this was an electric way to open up your entrance.
So, by the way, not a lot of calls on Unfiltered, right? Mm-hmm. They don't take a lot of phone calls. They do, but they don't take a lot of phone calls. And then when I heard Bill pivot to go to the phones, I was like, wow, this is interesting. Here's how it sounded.
Albert from South Philly wants to weigh in on the Bryce Harper conversation. What's going on, Albert?
Hi, Bill. How are you? I think we need you to pee in a cup and check for analysis because...
and you can see he's being very courteous. Hi, how are you? And then he was mad at Ricky. He was yelling at Ricky because Ricky wasn't defending Bryce enough. And Ricky was really being like, well, Bryce had a good year last year.
Right. You're sliding Bryce. You're a former ball player. You should know better. So then it goes to the guy who shouldn't know better.
Bill.
And Bill starts to give numbers. And this is Bill's diatribe on the numbers and the reaction to it.
Bryce Harper agreed with that assessment, saying he did not have his typical season. And hold on, just look at some of these numbers and not the total numbers when you miss 30 games. Let's just look at averages. He had his lowest OPS since the 2016 season. He had his lowest slugging percentage since the 2016 season. He had his lowest on-base percentage since the 2014 season. And in the postseason, he went 3 for 15 with 0 runs batted in.
See, there you go again. There you go. See, Ricky, 15 plate appearances. You want to gauge a guy on 15 plate appearances.
Oh, what about the other parts of what I just told you?
Let me address it. Of course, Bryce Harper is going to say that's not elite. I'm going to ask Ricky. He's been in the major leagues. You don't think a guy has an elite season if he hits 40 doubles, 30-plus homers, and 100 RBIs? He can hit 240 for me and hit third when he's going to put 30-plus, 100-plus, 40 doubles. Yes, that's not elite. Ricky, tell me to my face that I need a drug test.
Couldn't you hear his face? His face was red. It sounded like he was going to pass out.
I was worried if he was driving about the people around him that he's driving past.
Well, you know what? He's absolutely right. What we've turned Bryce Harper into Nick Castellanos with the season he had last year. Bryce Harper last season, and again, everybody knows that he didn't have the season that he's had previously. Right? He had 501 at-bats last year, had 27 home runs. All right, that's not Bryce Harper-ish. It's also not bad. He had 32 doubles. He batted .261. His on-base percentage was still .357, which is still a good on-base percentage considering the average wasn't that high. And he's playing at an above-level first base defensively. So he's good defensive first baseman. He had 27 home runs. It was a down year. Again, he was hitting in front of Nick Castellanos and Alec Boehm last year. Maybe you want to help him out a little bit with having something better hitting behind him. But this isn't a year where it's like, wow, man, like I wonder if he has anything left or you need to trade him. It was still a good year. No? Is that not a good year? Bryce Harper, like, we have to stop. I know baseball is a numbers game. To get in the Hall of Fame, you need 500 home runs, or at least you used to. You need to bat 300. You need to have 3,000 hits. You need to win 20 games. You need to have 300, whatever. Like, we know Bryce Harper didn't have a season that we expect Bryce Harper to have. It was still good.
Yeah, it was still a good year.
He didn't produce in the playoffs. That's the bottom line for me. Again.
I mean, I think the bottom line for him is this can't be, like, if this is the number going forward, you question whether or not they could be carried by the guy that they've built this franchise around. Like, it's the reason why we didn't say Dave Dombrowski necessarily said anything wrong. He just shouldn't have said what he said. Because what he said wasn't wrong. He's a good player. He's a quality player. Hey, man, they got a good club and they got a good player on it. You know? It's just you look at the numbers, and the numbers are what they are. Like, take Bryce Harper's name out of it. Here's a player that missed time, who has missed time over the last couple of seasons, was a good player, and ultimately came up short in the postseason. You put that resume out there for this fan base, that opens that guy up to criticism, regardless of sport. That's just what it is. He's not immune from it.
No.
And the criticism at this point is over the top because it's the Dombrowski and him back and forth has continued. And I said it on Monday. Bryce Harper deserved his get back. He got his get back. He was able to address it. He was able to take his little shot back at Dave so that he rallies his support around him. And perfect timing for him because a lot of people are upset with Dave Dombrowski right now after the offseason. He's able to get his get back. People are able to turn and get upset with Dave. But, like, now it's about what you do on the field because the criticism is about what you didn't get done on the field. Postseason and throughout the entire season, you just didn't have a Bryce Harper season. When I think Bryce Harper, I don't think what he did last year. And I'm sorry to that caller. I can't just award him numbers because he got hurt. That's not how this works.
Yeah, and who was it that we had on it was Whit Merrifield that talked about he had a lot of injuries that nobody knew about.
Right.
And he even said it more than one time. He's like, yeah, like he had a lot of people didn't know he was banged up, which is fine. But if that's the season, if that's Bryce Harper here on out, I'm fine with that. He could bat second. If he's going to hit you 25 home runs and 30-plus doubles and hit 260, 270, I'm fine with that. He's not making $50 million a year. If you're looking at values in baseball and on the team, he's fine. Didn't I do this? Was this here that I did this? I went and I looked at all these other players that I think it was after the Phillies were eliminated. And you go and you look at what players make in Major League Baseball and how productive they are. Yeah, because it was, what's his name from Beltre. Or not Beltre, the guy from the Nationals that went to the Rangers, the third baseman. That just retired. And
you're thinking Angels.
The Angels,
Rendon.
yes. Yeah, Rendon. Rendon didn't even try. He admitted that he didn't care anymore. Bryce Harper's not Rendon. He's making average annual salary. He's not making a ton of money. He's still very productive. If you're going to tell me right now, Ray, that Bryce Harper will hit me 27 home runs and bat 270 and have 80 RBIs and he's hitting out of the two-hole and his on-base percentage is 370, I'm signing up for that right now. You don't need him to carry your offense. You need all these other players that are making money to help carry it.
One guy won the batting title. The other guys had 50 home runs.
Right, and it wasn't enough. Why? Because they didn't hit in the playoffs.
Yeah, but to the point there is that, like, I understand. I just think we're affording protections to Bryce that maybe we don't afford to others. Like, that caller awarded home runs to Bryce Harper because he missed time. I can guarantee you that caller is not awarding points to Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid missed time.
Okay.
Like, that to me, like, the criticism's fair because he didn't have a Bryce Harper season. It's not just the postseason. He didn't have a Bryce Harper season. Dave Dombrowski wasn't wrong what he said. You don't need to go that length to say it.
Right. So it's we're getting further away from it, but Bryce Harper also in the National League Championship Series had an all-time Philadelphia home run, and he batted
did.
400. The series before that, he batted 500. He batted 462 in 2023, and he also hit 200 last year, and he hit 217 against the Mets or against the Diamondbacks in 2023. The bottom line is he needs to produce more in the postseason, as does Trey Turner and as does Kyle Schwarber. His regular season was fine last year. He was good last year.
He was good. Again, if my expectations of Bryce Harper are to be a good player, then the expectations matched last year. My expectations aren't for Harper to be a good player. It's to be one of the best in baseball.
And I think he's going to be closer to that this year.
And I think so, too. I just think, like, Everyone, like, I feel like it's been a pouring on of like, oh, what a victim he is in this thing. It's like, like, just go out there on the field and do it. Like, I don't need the pity party that's been thrown on Bryce Harper's behalf.
I don't hear a pity party at all. I hear more people now kind of looking at Bryce and being, all right, like you're selfish. You're only thinking about yourself. Because what Dombrowski said wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong. You just don't say it. You don't have to tell Bryce Harper that he didn't perform well in the playoffs. He knows that. You don't have to publicly say that in the press conference.
Which is why Bryce Harper's afforded the opportunity to go back at him.
And he did.
I'm cool with him going back at him. Podcast that was recorded. You had your opening scrum with the reporters. Please, if you're making jokes about it now on the podcast, you think it's over, let it be over. Let it be over, and just let's all move past this and go have a great season.
The Mets in 2024, he batted .333 with a homer. The year before that in the playoffs, he struggled against Arizona, as did the rest of the team. Before that, he was killing it. So was the whole team.
Yeah, his OPS in the postseason is one of the best in baseball history. Like, it's not anything that he can't perform in the postseason. It's just coming off of last year. Like, he didn't have a great regular season. He missed time.
He didn't miss that much time, though.
30 games.
Okay. Played 132 games last year. Played 145 the year before that. Played 126 the year before that. So, if 140, I think is a good number for Bryce.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, so he's not too far off of that. He still had over 500 at bats, which is more than he had in 2023. So he's really not that far off. I don't see what all I don't see the negativity on Bryce Harper. I really, really don't. Bryce Harper's been a great value for the Phillies and remains a great value for the Phillies.
He absolutely does. It's nothing against that. It's just that this over the top, and maybe we're seeing opposites of the over the top, because I've seen a lot of people like, I can't, but like, we're still belaboring the point that it was said. Like, it was said. I'm over it. Bryce should be over it too.
All right, coming up, Otto Kemp spoke to Tim Kelly down in Clearwater. Also, the Phillies signed an 11-year-old to $1.8 million. An 11-year-old shortstop to a $1.8 million bonus. The youngest player to receive a contract like that. Ray, can we go on the BetParks app and bet his future? Probably not. Probably not. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5, The Fanatic.
The Fanatics and
It's a new segment. It's called Negative Nate. Negative Nate is our associate producer, and he's going to join us. He has every if you give over/under numbers on player performances or wins or anything like that, Nate Tennyson, our associate producer, goes under, and he's not kidding. I don't. His favorite sport is hockey, right? He's a Flyers guy first.
Flyers,
Union.
Yeah, it might be soccer first.
Is it soccer first? He's a marathon runner.
He is.
So he's not your typical knuckle-dragging Eagle, Sixer, Phillies fan like me.
Right. A little different.
Yeah, a little different. 16 years in Catholic school. He appeared before on the show. He went 5 for 5 on the Catholic answers.
Previously known as Oh Holy Nate. He's now Negative Nate.
Negative Nate joins us at 1 o'clock, and I want his takes, and I want to argue with him about them if I think he's wrong. Because the negativity on the Phillies, I feel like hopefully has weighted, so people can now focus on the season. But anyway, if you're looking for good Phillies content, of course you want to listen to all of our shows here on 97.5 The Fanatic. But I have started a YouTube/podcast show called Philly Baseball Talk that you should not go watch and listen to now. You should wait till we're off the air and Bill and Ricky are off the air. But if you're home tonight, you're looking for something to watch, we did the episode last night, so it's right up there on YouTube, just 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube. Subscribe to The Fanatic. I hear Ray Dunn may be involved in some of the Philly baseball talk this year.
Sources are indicating we're closing in on an agreement for that to be the case.
Right. So it's going to be a couple episodes a week. We'll do some post games. We'll do some long shows. We'll give you an emergency podcast and things like that. Philly baseball talk on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube page. So check it out. And you know what? Like, my favorite player. Who's my favorite player on the team, Ray?
Otto Kemp.
Did you see the picture that ChatGPT came up with that I want to put on a T-shirt? Get in the zone, auto zone.
Oh, I did see this. Yes, I did see this.
Yeah, it's my kind of
look.
It's kind of my catchphrase with Otto. It's a picture of Otto Kemp with his big mustache, and it says "Get in the zone, auto zone." Otto Kemp spoke with Tim Kelly down in Clearwater. Here's some Otto Kemp.
Honestly, every day was kind of a rescue mission to just stay on the field and try and get ready to rock. So luckily with our staff, they made it easy on me. But, I mean, it definitely played a part into it for sure. I think I was just a little bit slow on my reads in the infield and even the outfield. So, I mean, I'm excited to come back and feel a little bit healthier and feel like I got a little bit of pep in my step.
There you go. Yep. Broken kneecap or something like that with Otto Kemp. And he was still very impressive. Notable in the offseason, Dave Dombrowski and Topper called him a championship-type player. Yep.
Let's pipe down with the very impressive. He had some moments.
He did. He's also a rookie, not a young rookie.
Yeah.
Justin Crawford's going to play center field at 22 this year.
Right.
Otto Kemp, I think, is 26. So.
I do think Otto Kemp's got me an age. That's kind of how I gauge rookies at this point. If you debut younger than me, I'm very impressed. If you debut older than me, I'm like, all right, we'll see what it is. Yeah, he's got me by a year.
It's like 26. He also played college ball, so he wasn't in the minors for a long time, but he was an older college player when he got drafted.
Yeah.
So that's why he's this age. By the way, another older player that made his debut with the Phillies, Ryan Howard.
Right.
Ryan Howard wasn't a 22, 23-year-old coming up. Jimmy Rollins was. Chase Utley was the college player, so he was a little bit older.
So in this analogy, Alec Boehm is Jim Thome, or your left field situation is Jim Thome?
No, it's just that what name doesn't belong? Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Otto Kemp. All started their careers in the majors a little bit later.
Right.
So that's my only, just saying.
Okay. Yeah, we'll clear that one up. Yep. Chase Utley, future Hall of Famer. Future Hall of Famer Otto Kemp. You know what? Let's get nuts.
197 at bats last year, 8 home runs. Do the math. He gets 400 at bats. He's coming close to 20 home runs this year. And he wasn't even healthy last year.
Is this the theme of the 12 o'clock hour? What we're going to do is just award home runs to guys that didn't have at bats to do it last year?
All right. Yeah, you didn't believe in the Dory Jackson when I started the fan club.
Whoa. I joined that club. All right. I got lucky in one club. I'm not following you down to.
We have a good club.
I'm not following you down to the club on that
But it took you a little bit of time to get to it.
Yeah.
All right. I get you an Otto Kemp t-shirt, get it in the zone, auto zone. You don't even have to wear it. You can just keep it in your room.
Yeah. I'll look
at it.
I'll rock it. I'm thinking there's some bet for me to go to a mustache. Given Otto Kemp.
So I think it was Petrilli that said earlier, we should all do the Otto Kemp mustache. Me, you, and Sean before opening day on when's his birthday? Nah, his birthday's in
9th.
September. Yeah, so we can't do
I have
that.
their baseball reference page up too.
But maybe we get him on and we all have the Otto Kemp mustache that day.
All right.
So it's kind of a pitch to the Phillies. Like, listen, the show's a really big fan of Otto Kemp. They're going to do an Otto Kemp mustache that day. Can we get him on the air? And like he should want to do it, baby. We're trying to help him become popular and stuff. And I am his president of his fan club.
Works for me.
Get in the zone, Otto zone. Now, I don't know how he would feel if I was selling a T-shirt with his face on it.
Probably good.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you're kind of leading the charge here for him to become the fan favorite.
I am.
The mustache, though. I'm thinking Mustache March.
Mustache March. Well, you can't do the November mustache.
No, I'm just saying. I've been thinking about changing up the facial hair. I could be convinced into an Otto Kemp themed mustache. It's for the bit, of course. I'm not doing this because I think I'd look good with the mustache.
You do look good with the mustache, but it is all about the bit.
It's about the bit. It's not really about how I look.
It always has and it always will be.
Right.
The Phillies yesterday reached a pre-agreement with Venezuelan shortstop David Basabe, a member of the 2031 international class, for a $1.8 million bonus. He's 11 years old. Becomes the youngest player in history to secure a pre-arrangement with a major league organization. So I would always find it interesting when you would see, because 16 years old, if you're an international guy, it's like guys are getting signed at 16 and they're giving big bonuses. Sometimes you see 14-year-olds from Venezuela or some of those countries that are getting big bonuses. This kid's 11, right? Like that's really elite type of scouting. That you're looking at you're giving $2 million to a kid that's 11. But, man, he must be really good. And there is a video that's out there of him hitting the ball, and he certainly doesn't look like an 11-year-old out there.
What are we doing here?
So my daughter's in 4th grade. He's in 5th grade. Just imagine, I try to imagine that, and I was talking about this with Maniac Malloy on the Philly baseball show last night, the Philly baseball, I don't even know the name of it, Philly Baseball Talk.
There you go.
And his son is the same age. So it's like, what if my daughter, like a college kid, or someone came and said, hey, we'll give you $1.8 million. Or his son, $1.8 million. It's the same age.
It is, which is absurd. Could we just acknowledge the absurdity here? What do they see in an 11-year-old? With all due respect to the 11-year-old. And what are we doing scouting 11-year-olds? Like, can we put some sort of, barrier in place here? Like, at some point, it's a little much. Like, what's next? We're going to find out the Yankees got a 9-year-old signed?
People just will get younger.
Right.
No, you're right.
Like, what am I doing? Am I going to go down to Upper Provinceville League, be like, oh, hey, look, these guys look pretty good. Like, who?
Yes, but
how do we know?
But why is it bad? If you're going to make the case it's bad because of his age and it'll hurt him financially, and
it's not hurting financially. He's got $1.8 million.
But who's the advisor? Where's this money going? Is this going to his future? Is this going where's it going? All those questions are fine, and I had the same questions, but if it secures you a player that's really good and it just takes longer, and on a 16-year-old, you don't know how that guy's going to develop. When you have 18-year-old prospects, a lot of times they're getting traded by teams because it's like, all right, you don't know what they're developing into. They're 18 years old.
Right. The Phillies traded a 16 or 17-year-old in the was it one of the trades they made at the deadline? Was it Bader?
Well,
I think the Bader deal they traded.
Really?
Someone that was ridiculously young.
Taiit was 19. You see, I remember with what was the outfielder that the kid hit bombs, but he was a big money international free agent guy they signed. The big monster outfielder that used to hit tape measure home runs, but he sucked. He didn't develop in the whatever. I mean, you're essentially just bought a lottery ticket. So if you think that a 9-year-old's not going to get signed at some point soon, a 9-year-old's probably going to get signed sometime soon. I watched a lot of LeBron James on ESPN2 playing high school.
Right, high school. We're not talking about high school anymore. We're not even talking middle school. We're talking elementary school.
No,
That's
I know.
5th grade.
Well, so guess what? If they're willing to put $1.8 million up a lottery ticket that this kid's going to turn into the next thing, then go for it. It's not my money.
It just feels gross.
It's weird.
It feels icky. It feels like we got a bunch of...
But don't you do the same thing in soccer? Right?
Yeah, I mean, we got Negative Nate coming up. He could give you a better breakdown of what's happening at 11 years old in terms of the soccer world.
We'll continue this conversation. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Why would this be a bad thing? Why would you applaud the Phillies? They're actually they're doing something no one else has done. An 11-year-old.
Exactly, an 11-year-old.
Imagine if it works. And if it doesn't, nobody cares. It's not our money. I'm not
It's
a
not
boost.
the money.
I'm not a booster to the Phillies. It's not coming out of my pocket. I just go to games.
I don't care if they spend $1.8 billion on players. I care if it's an 11-year-old.
We'll discuss coming up a negative Nate with his negativity on the Phillies. We'll discuss after this. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Return of AJ. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's a big topic of this Eagles offseason. What will the future hold for wide receiver AJ Brown? For a while there, it seemed like a lot of people believed he was gone. Then he goes to the Super Bowl. He says some nice things about Philadelphia. Maybe he'll stick around. And Adam Schefter today saying, hey, team's pretty skeptical the Eagles are actually going to move him.
I don't think it's changed. It's just, I think when I speak to some other teams, I think they're a little bit more skeptical than I expected to hear that the Eagles would trade A.J. Brown.
You can listen to that full conversation with Adam Schefter with the morning show, Kincade and Salciunas, on our website or the Fanatic app. Now, someone that's skeptical of the skepticism is Brandley Gowton, who still believes that A.J. Brown will be dealt. You can listen to that conversation with us from earlier in the show on the Fanatic app or our website. Sixers return from the All-Star break tomorrow night against the Hawks. Union back in action tonight. CONCACAF Cup action in Trinidad and Tobago at 6 o'clock. We're just 3 days away from opening up MLS action. This update's brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Victims of drunk and drug driving. Your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP or visit MAD.org. I'm Ray Down on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, Best, and the Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Hair, Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. 3 locations: Ballard, Kinwood, Wayne, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Visit Morgenstern Hair, that's Morgan with an E, morgensternhair.com, or call them and speak to their hair team. Tell them I sent you. 610-831-HAIR. Hoo-ah. There we go. All right. Ray, I know a lot of people are checking in with on the text line with the 11-year-old getting signed. What are they saying?
We got Kevin from Jersey saying, breaking news, A's just signed my unborn child. Our YouTube chat's split. We've got some that are giving the thinking outside the box is okay. Others with the this crosses the line.
Huh. Does it cross a line, though? I mean, so if he was 14, it wouldn't matter? No one would say anything? Well, what's the age it has to be? 16? I mean, they're still juveniles. They're not adults.
Yeah. I mean, again, it goes into who's making decisions for you. Also, like, just in general, don't we have, like, anti-child labor? Like, isn't that a thing? Like,
yeah, not in America, though.
I get that.
They didn't sign him out of South Jersey.
I understand. Is it just cool because it's a child from a different country? Like,
Well,
we're
not-
not having children work here. We're just like, yeah, it's cool. We'll have them work there. Like, it's an odd thing for me to be like, yeah, 11 years old. Let's just
They're not working in a factory, right?
I get it, but it's like, here's this 11-year-old. We're just signing him up for work. I don't know. It's weird to me. I personally don't love the practice.
Well, it is weird.
Yeah, I just don't love it.
A lot of people looking through the comments mad at the Phillies, like, oh, you can't go out and sign a player, but you can sign this guy. Well, I mean, this goes out of their scouting budget.
Yeah, this is international money. So
Yeah,
it's a little,
this is
a little
right.
different.
Yeah, it's
coming out of a
different.
different spot. So I got it. And it's not the Phillies' the only team that does it. They've now done the Extreme, the 11. We're going to get next year some 10-year-old that's going to get signed, and it's the cycle continues.
All right, so here's Uncle Jamie, and I'm sure Negative Nate's in studio wearing a Union jersey. He's a big soccer guy, but Messi was 12 years old when he was signed. Many Brazilian youngsters are 9 or 10 years old when they're signed to a club.
Okay, I get it. It happens in other countries. It doesn't make me feel any less weird about it. Like, I got you.
All right, so you wouldn't do it. You would just wait till they're in their 20s like Otto Kemp.
Well, here's the thing. You can't apparently wait because now we're signing 11-year-olds, and if you're signing an 11-year-old, that means there was a demand there for the 11-year-old.
It means they're going to sign a 10-year-old, which means they're going to sign a 9-year-old, which means they're going to sign a 5-year-old.
Right. I mean, it's just we've turned.
It's actually not a bad idea that you mentioned, like, the unborn child. Because if you look at all the second-generation, third-generation baseball players, Dante Bichette has Bo Bichette. You know, Ken Griffey has Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, a lot, especially this generation right now, there's a bunch of second, third-generation players. You just say, like, all right, who do we got here? Like, hey, Bryce Harper, you like, we want to sign your 5-year-old to a contract right now.
Getting into feels murky waters here. Like, what?
All right. Well, Negative Nate joins us right now wearing his Union jersey. What Union jersey are you wearing?
This is this year's new home jersey. Just dropped last week.
I saw you sent us a picture last night. It's actually pretty cool. Who's on the back? And we're the home of the Union right here, right?
That's right. First game Saturday night. MLS action.
Is that right?
That's right.
Home game?
No, DC.
Oh, DC. Okay. Very cool. Anybody on the back, or is that just
no back?
No back.
No back.
Huh.
Well, I mean, some guys here got this one for free that the team sent them. I didn't get one. But, like, Andrew Salciunas got one.
Yeah, I heard.
He can't name one player, so why is he getting one? Ray didn't get one. I didn't get one. Matt Menard didn't get one.
Well, you didn't get one. You didn't get one because you're not Andrew Salciunas. He's a big star on the air. You're getting there, right?
I'm getting there, yeah, but
I didn't get one, and frankly, I don't deserve one because I can't name a player on the team, and I don't need a jersey with my name on the back because that's what they would have sent us, right?
yeah.
Because so I have a Phillies jersey with my name on the back. I'll never wear it. I have other jerseys with name on the back that I won't wear, and I wouldn't wear the Union jersey with my name on the back. It's not something I do.
The Union sent me one last year, and my jacket that I usually wear down to games was dirty, and I did rock the jersey with my name on the back. There was a little sense of me like, I feel like I'm being a little.
If you wore something like a zip up over it,
right?
where
I was
you're
thinking
showing
jacket
the front,
around it. Yeah, that's to avoid the hey, look at Ray Dunn, trying to let everyone know that Ray Dunn's here.
I have a Union jersey at home with the name on the back. But I mean, it just is weird that certain people at the station were getting. Who got the jerseys at the station?
Andrew? Did Connor get it?
No, he didn't get one. Shukri got one. Nick Earnshaw got one.
Yeah.
And Zach Silverstein got one, who just got hired.
All right. What's the picking and the choosing?
I don't know.
I would have been very gracious and been like, wow, this is very cool. Thank you, Union, blah, 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 right? And giving them a shout out. But, I mean, I'm fine with it because if they would have sent me another jersey with my name on it, I wouldn't have worn it out, so it would have been a waste of money for them. What I'm wondering is who's making decisions that are like, let's send it to these people, but not these people.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, you don't get one, and you're one of the biggest proponents of the union at the station.
I'll be down at their facility today.
We're the home of the union, right? All right. So why are you so negative on the Phillies? Negative, Nate.
I'm just not excited or confident in them this year. I mean, it's the same team for the third year in a row. Like, how can you get hyped to watch a team that lost to the Mets in the NLDS in 2024, lost in the NLDS to the Dodgers in 2025, ran back the same team again, and you're like, yeah, this is the year it's going to happen.
Because they have a really good club, as Rob Thompson says. And I don't have that on my board, but
We got a really good club.
So you're still upset from the offseason?
I'm upset from 2 years ago still. I'm still upset from 2023. That was the year that you get past the Diamondbacks. I think they beat the Rangers in 5 games in the World Series.
I don't know if they beat the Rangers, but to your point, you can't lose that series. And
No,
that one should burn. If you're a Philadelphia sports fan, that series right there should burn everybody because it feels like their window of opportunity really closed after that.
I think that was the year that they didn't get it done, and that minimized everything dramatically.
All right, so this started where in a group chat, Sean Brace posts a picture of Orlando Garcia, and he's all jacked up, and his biceps are huge, and he says over 35 bombs. Nate responds back and says he won't even hit 28. And actually, Dutsy put with a 28% strikeout rate, which probably isn't that far off. I don't think he's hitting 35 bombs. So his over-under's 20 on the BetParks app right now. Garcia's number's 22.5 over-under on the homers.
Yeah.
And I mean, he could hit 25 home runs and have an on-base percentage of 260. And his only hits are home runs. Mm-hmm. So I worry less about the over-under on home runs. I agree with you with Chapman. Chapman. I'm going to keep doing this all year long. With Garcia, it doesn't mean he's going to be a great player that he's all jacked up. But at least it's something new. At least it's something that has some potential. You're already being negative about it. At least give him a couple weeks before we go nuts.
But I mean, like, Garcia's like a Nick Castellanos 2.0. Just a better outfielder. Like, I want to watch a guy with like a 28% strikeout percentage, just swing at every first pitch, go down on K's the whole game, and then this team's probably not even going to get. I don't think they'll get over 90 wins, if I'm being honest. I think 87, 88.
That's where I have them.
And I said in the group chat, too, which we'll get to, that I have them finishing third in the NL East.
So you have Harper not getting the 30. His over-under is 27.5.
I mean, with everything he's talking about this year and the not elite comments, which he's just blowing up for no reason at all, I'm tired of it. I mean, he's like, it's not a story. Always talks about it. Like, on Bussin' with the Boys, he said it's not a story. I'm gonna keep talking about it. Like, just.
But he said it was the reason why he's annoyed is he has to talk about it because Dombrowski brought it up.
Yeah, but like you have 330 million reasons why to not talk about it, and you still want to keep talking about it.
Well, because it bothered him. It would have bothered me too.
But like, what? Like, how does that? Like, oh, like, I don't think my player is. I mean, he wasn't elite last year too, and Harper's noted that. But you're getting paid all that money to be a perennial All-Star and the MVP candidate, and then you're gonna just.
And he wasn't.
Complain about it that he called you not elite, which you weren't, and you did not perform in the playoffs again. So, I mean,
all right,
just let it go.
All right, fair enough. So you said Harper isn't getting over 30. Negative, Nate. You also said Schwarber's not getting over 5, and you said the Phillies will finish third in the division. Braves, Mets, Phillies, Marlins, Nationals was your predicted order. Man, so if they have 87, 88 wins and they finish third, that means the Braves, to me, they're already having the injury bugs already there.
Yeah.
They lost Schwellenbach. There was another pitcher that went down, another young pitcher that went down.
Oh, Waldrop.
Yeah.
Unreal, man. My fantasy team is screwed.
Oh, you have him too?
Oh, man, I'm so excited for his contribution this season.
Man, so he's not good. So let me say this. All right, so let's do over-under on home runs. I mentioned Chapman was 22.5. Ray, over-under on Bryce Harper, 27.5.
Over.
I agree. Nate?
I think around 27, but I'm not going higher than 30.
Give me Harper's line for this year. What's he got?
25 homers.
270?
I'm thinking like 250, 260.
Negative
50 RBIs.
I didn't know you had this in you. I'll be honest with you. I've known you for a while. I didn't know you had this to you.
Negative Nate. Yeah, unless he's injured, I don't see all that. Where would you bet Harper in the batting order?
Third.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I start the season with Harper batting second and Schwarber third, and then if it doesn't work, you can switch him back. And Thompson's been good. Remember, they wanted Turner to bat leadoff from Jump Street, and he didn't. They had to put Schwarber back up there because Turner wasn't hitting. But ultimately, they got him where he wanted to be. That's one of the reasons I think you have to bat Harper second is you can't just put him back out there at third. At least that has a different feel to the lineup. And then Schwarber, much more selective at the plate, has reverse splits against lefties, so you can bat him against lefties, so you can have two lefties in a row. I mean, I don't know. All right, so you have him finishing third. The interesting player here that nobody's talking about is Kyle Schwarber. So on the BetParks app, and I didn't see if it's still like this, but it was like this last week, the over-under for Kyle Schwarber home runs is 41.5, which is incredibly low considering he was 56 last season. So to go from hitting 56 last season to the over-under being 41.5, could you encourage people to take the over more than by putting that number out there, Ray?
No, there's no way you could encourage it more because if you set it any lower, that'd be criminal.
I mean, even 45, I think people would, at least then you're thinking about it. 41.5, who's taking the under on that other than somebody that's reading the line and saying that no one's expecting him to have this?
Nate's taking the under.
I'll take the under.
Yeah. How many home runs for Schwarber?
38.
38.
I think he'll have a down year. I mean, I think he'll still be an all-star, but he's not going to get over 50 bombs like he did last year. I don't think over 45. I just think in general the whole team this year is just going to have a massive regression.
Man.
Massive regression to get to, what, 88 wins, though? 87
but,
wins?
They're a team that, you should be getting, 95-plus every year, right?
Well, I mean,
with who they have. They have before.
Maybe it's not a massive regression, but they're third in the division. I mean, that's 41.5 is the over/under for regular season home runs for Kyle Schwarber. That's crazy, man. If that's ever a line telling you something on Kyle Schwarber,
then I want to play this line game that we did last week. JT, Bohm, Garcia combined more home runs than Schwarber this year. Because you're not high on Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where you're at. I imagine bringing JT back, that didn't sit well with you if you're not really a fan of this whole nucleus. Bohm is the easiest one to be negative on, it feels like, for everyone in the city. So does Schwarber, even going under, would Schwarber have more home runs than those three guys?
There's
Okay, now we're there's a power outage.
It's all right.
Somebody call Pico, man. We're out.
How many home runs for Bohm?
13.
Oh,
jeez.
That's on the. So you're the low end. So who are you high on the Phillies? Anybody?
Not this year. I'm not.
Topper?
Maybe. I think maybe. Andrew Painter could be all right.
Painter's a good name. Otto Kemp?
Nah, he's boring to me. He's boring. He's boring.
What does that mean?
Not a fan of mustaches? I mean, clean-shaven guy.
All right,
I can't grow one. That's why.
Chris Sanchez. Down
No, I think I'll have a steady year.
Steady? And he was the unanimous second Cy Young last year to Skeens. Steady, he didn't have a steady year last year. He had an elite year last year.
Yeah.
He had a higher WAR than Skeens did.
Yeah, he'll be an elite pitcher still.
Okay, all right.
So a steady year for him.
All right, Aaron Nola, negative Nate.
Oh. We'll see. I mean, if he's throwing meatballs for Italy in the World Baseball Classic, dude, that's just gonna.
All right,
you're right there. It's done.
The over/under's 5 ERA. Ray's already taken the under in 4.5. I think.
Yep, under for sure.
Under. I think
under 5 ERA.
Yeah.
Oh, great. He's on my side for Nola, but he hates everyone else. This sucks.
And Taijuan Walker, who's pitching for Mexico. That to me, the name of the person. That if I was predicting if you're going to have one injury from a pitcher coming out of the World Baseball Classic, Taijuan Walker comes out of the World Baseball Classic on the DL or is throwing 84 miles an hour. Right? Because Mexico has a good team, so he's going to have some high leverage innings there.
We have a good club.
Yeah. All right, negative Nate. Thank you, man.
No problem.
Great stuff. I'm sure people are feeling a lot better out there.
I hope so. Hey, if you want to feel good, Union start on Saturday against DC United.
I know.
I'm excited.
I'm curious. How'd you feel about the Union in 2024 if you were down on a team that ran it back?
That's different, though, because you bring in Bradley Carnell.
No. Not last year. I mean, the year prior. The year where things go downhill with Jim Curtin.
The Union, since their academy is so good, they're a team that
he went too deep in the weeds.
They run it back, and there's really no reason. There's no reason to be scared about it because they're good at selling players once they know they're going to regress to, like you saw with Glasness going to the Galaxy.
There you go.
this
Negative
summer.
Nate,
So,
everybody. Negative Nate. Yeah, man, we can't talk about all this stuff on the.
I can.
I know.
I can go home 7 more minutes.
Well, you and Herb do a union podcast, or we should get you should do a union podcast on YouTube for the station.
That's what I've mentioned to Scott in our meeting last week.
There you go.
Going to do the podcast, go to some games, go to the World Cup.
All right, there you go. There he is, Negative Nate. Thank you, Negative
you.
Nate. Appreciate it. Very negative on the Phillies. And Uncle Jamie's also very negative on the Phillies. He said take the under on Schwarber. He's due to get injured this year.
Well, that was the only thing I could say from that line is that they're asking a guy who's played 155, 160, 150, 162 to end up playing 120 and have 38 homers instead of having the 56 he did a year ago.
No, you're right. It's how does he get less than 41 and a half home runs? He misses a quarter of the season.
Right. Great.
Or he's got some type of an issue that he's trying to play through, and he's not completely healthy. Because you look at it and what he's done here, and really Kyle Schwarber is like been an amazing Philly. They signed him. Did anybody have different expectations from Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos? They were kind of like you're expecting the same kind of player. A good player, not necessarily like a great player. Castellanos actually had a better year coming into Philly.
Correct.
Than Schwarber did. And all he's done since he's been with the Phillies, 46, 47, 38, 56. He did have the 38 home runs 2 years ago. At bats, he had 604 at bats last year. 724 plate appearances. This dude's playing all the time.
Second of 4 years. And that's also 724 coming out of the 2-hole for a decent amount of the season. But 720 2 years prior.
In his 4 years in Philly, he's played in the games played 155, 160, 150, 162. Didn't he pull a hamstring or a calf in left field 2 years ago? They put him out in left field, and he was out there looking very, very
Kyle
unathletic.
Schwarber-esque.
He looked very, He
looked like Kyle Schwarber tried to play left field.
He sure did. All right, Negative Nate. Too much negativity. Too much negativity on the Phillies. They're a good club. We all know it. New segment idea, Negative Nate and Mad Mike. They could do a podcast.
There was someone that put on the YouTube chat, is Mad Mike his father? And I don't think we can confirm nor deny on that one, but...
I don't think Mike... Well, if Mike had children young, which I think he might have, Nate could be his son.
We also got that is the 11-year-old that the Phillies signed when he came on the screen.
Well, Nate?
Yeah.
Nate looks he's a youthful 26 because Nate's older than you.
Correct.
Right?
Which no one could believe.
You know Mel Gibson, what's the movie where he goes, "Give me back my son"? That's Mad Mike Wood. You don't know it?
Nope.
I forget what it is. Ransom maybe or something like that.
Feels right.
No,
Give me back my son feels like a line to be from a movie called Ransom.
Yeah. Give me back my son. All right, 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Ray, we have two pairs of tickets for the Drexel Dragons, and we do it on the text line. That's a pair of tickets to the Drexel basketball against Townsend. It's February 22nd at the DAC. Get your tickets today, DrexelDragons.com. You can catch the game on CBS Sports Network. How about that? I always appreciate local college basketball, watching the Dragons play. So let's text the word dragon to our text line, and we'll give you the fourth and the fifth texter at 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Text the word dragon. The fourth and the fifth texter will get a pair of tickets to the game. All right, coming up next, it's a one-hit wonder Wednesday. We have two NBA players releasing songs. One's a Sixer, and one's a former Sixer. Huh? I can't wait to hear it. Is Allen Iverson releasing another song here?
Nope. They're both in the NBA right now.
Current NBA players. We're going to play the audio?
Oh, we got some snippets.
All right.
Take your pick. Which one's a hit?
I'm sure they're both going to be fantastic. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Bring Brown back. I'm Ray done with this Fanatic Sports Update. The big topic of the Eagles offseason remains the question mark surrounding wide receiver A.J. Brown, whether or not he'll return to the Philadelphia Eagles. Adam Schefter was on with Kincade and Salciunas earlier today talking about the future of A.J. Brown.
I said last week that I felt like it could go either way. My guess, if I had to guess, would be I'd lean towards the trade, but it could go either way. Flip it the other way, and I'd still say it still could go either way, but I'd lean safe rather than out.
So Adam Schefter's leading to the return of A.J. Brown. We had Brandley Gouton of Bleeding Green Nation on earlier today. He's leaning to A.J. Brown still be gone. So much to the point he's still saying 0%. You can listen to both those conversations back on our website or the Fanatic app. Sixers return from the All-Star break tomorrow night against the Hawks. Still another day to go to get action from them. You catch that game on our airwaves tomorrow night. And the Union begin CONCACAF Cup action tonight in Trinidad and Tobago at 6 o'clock, and they're just days away from opening up MLS action. This update is brought to you by Audible. If you're stuck in traffic, take care of you with help from top voices in well-being on Audible. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com/wellbeing. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
know what it is.
Kill Bill. Yeah, that's.
Did he whistle the whole time?
Yeah, I recognize the tune of it. It was probably on the radio at some point, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's remixed by someone that actually.
The internet
has it.
says that it's a one-hit wonder.
Correct.
So you
Has
say
to be a
it is.
one-hit wonder. Yeah, I mean, this is by. Have we heard the name Rob Stone recently?
No.
No. So apparently, 2010s. This was good for Rob Stone.
I know Jeff Stone. I don't know Rob Stone. Jeff Stone was a Phillies prospect back in the mid '80s, and he was very, 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 very fast.
Very fast.
Not very good.
I was going to ask if he did anything else because I've heard of a number of Phillies prospects that are really quick that have amounted to very little.
The famous story from Jeff Stone, as it's been told, is he was playing winter ball in a I don't know if it was Venezuela, but it was a non-English speaking country, and someone was asking him about it, and he said he bought a new TV down there, and he said, but I couldn't bring it back, and he said, why not? He said, because it only played Spanish stations.
Oh, Jeff.
No, that's always been the story that was told. I don't know how true it is, but I like to believe it.
I mean, yeah, that's one of those you believe it just because you want to believe it. Like, oh, Jeff. Why do you think? Oh,
yeah. Jeff Stone was I believe he was from Kansas, but he was one of the. You want to know why the Phillies weren't very good in the mid '80s, late '80s, early '90s, mid '90s? Their system didn't produce a lot of great players.
Was he healthier than Roman Quinn?
That'd be tough to not be healthier than Roman Quinn.
Good point.
I was a big Roman Quinn fan.
How could you not be? I mean, it's the middle of the nothing period. Here's a guy that's fast, plays center field, dying for a center fielder. Come on.
He was from Missouri, Jeff Stone.
Where'd he go to school? Or was he a high school guy?
Pretty sure he didn't attend college.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I probably should have known that with the Spanish station's comment there.
Yeah, he was he stole base. He had 27 steals in 1984 with the Phillies, in just 185 at bats.
All right, there you go. Weeze kids out, Jeff Stone in.
His batting average was 362. He actually wasn't a bad player until after he left Philadelphia, and it was kind of done. Anyway, all right. So we were actually just before we get to these songs, we were actually just talking in the hallway about Bryce Harper, and I'm still trying to get a feel. Are people turning on Bryce? Because I don't know. Somebody was out there saying "Oh, well, no, everybody loves Bryce," and because Bill's going to come on today, and he's going to say that Bryce Harper's treatment isn't equal to if it was Jalen Hurts and Joel Embiid. He's tried this stuff before with Bryce Harper and Embiid. He's tried to pit the two against each other, where it's look how Embiid's treated compared to Bryce Harper, and it's okay, well, I get it, but Joel Embiid also showed up fat and out of shape and was eating bags of fast food. And showed up when he wanted to, and Tyrese Maxey had to call him out and all that stuff. But I mean, there's something there. I just don't know how people think about Bryce Harper anymore.
I mean, people still generally love Bryce Harper.
Okay,
this is gonna blow over, I think.
So this is just the moment, and then once the season starts,
yeah, I think this will be a lot closer to people being happy with it. I really don't think the tide's totally turned on him. He's like we said, he's hit the apex. The apex of his time in Philadelphia in terms of being beloved. Unless they win a title, he's hit the apex.
But you know what we could use? Big postseason moments. Even if they don't win, if he hits 460 in a series that they lose and he has 4 home runs, then it's going to be, but he's producing again.
Yeah, okay. Then he might have a second.
He bats 200 and they lose. Not going to get better.
No. If they don't win a title, I don't think it's going to get much better. Okay. Because he'll be remembered. Those series that even where he hits 300 in will be remembered for the fact that he didn't do enough. That's just kind of the nature of where we're at with him, unfortunately, right now. There's fatigue with this team, and this team's built around him. And the fatigue is going to engulf him at some point. I don't think it's fully engulfed him at this point.
Right.
But if he has another season where he's low to mid 800s OPS, and it's he's a good player. He's a quality player, but he's not an elite player. People will be like, all right, so they haven't won anything in the postseason, and this guy's starting to dwindle down.
Does Dombrowski say the same thing after next year? Oh. Only Bryce knows if he's elite or she.
Yeah, and then he closes the presser with, so I'll see you all on Broadway. I'm going to Nashville, boys. Peace.
Seriously. All right, so I don't know anything about this, but so 2 former Sixers.
1 current.
And okay, so 1 current and 1 former Sixer has a song they're releasing.
So 1 was released, 1 was just on a stream.
All right.
Jared McCain on the stream.
Oh, okay. I did see that.
During All-Star Weekend. So McCain was out there for All-Star Weekend, hopped on with a streamer. I apologize. I learned who Janky Rondo was because A.J. Brown was on it. Jared McCain now plays in Oklahoma City. With all due respect to this streamer, I'm not familiar with their game.
Is it Janky Rondo?
It's not Janky Rondo.
Okay.
Can confirm Janky Rondo not a part of this story. Jared McCain hopped on the stream. This streamer had a couple of different NBA players on it. McCain, I guess, rapped for him, and he cleaned it up for him, and they debuted this song on the stream. So here's the part where McCain's talking about Philly.
Yeah, I like that. All right, that. Yeah, I like that. All right, that. I'm gonna turn up the city. I know that my brothers is with me. We better not run into Philly. Cause if we do, don't get sticky. Can't believe they gave me up. It's cool, I'ma show them what's up. I need me a Supermax soon. Cause Jay might be getting these bucks.
Oh, at least he's not bitter.
No, at least he's not bitter. Certainly not bitter at all.
But I like it because he knows his guys are with him, so he's not talking bad about his teammates.
Right.
I don't think he's talking bad about the city. You know what he's talking bad about.
Yeah. Don't want to run into Philly.
Yep. Did he say things are going to get sticky?
Yeah, bleep will get sticky.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's that. That came out All-Star Weekend. So, yeah, he's not coming after Maxey and B and any of those guys. He's just basically talking about Daryl Morey.
Right.
I mean, there's different ways to do it. If you are of a different generation, you might go to a strip club and get a sign and sparklers that just says Daryl Morey's live.
Right.
If you're part of Gen Z, you hop on a streamer, they give you a beat, they clean up a little bit of audio for you, and you rap.
I would have thought maybe TikTok, a TikTok video or singing on TikTok, but
there are a few TikTok trends. I wouldn't be surprised if Jared McCain hopped on and tried to throw shade at Daryl Morey at some point. I'll be watching. I'll be tapped in. I'll be the reporter on that one.
Yeah, my two oldest were doing some TikTok dance, some trend, and I was watching them. I tried to get in and do it with them, and my oldest was like, "Dad, get out," and she deleted it and wouldn't let me get in and do it, and then was doing the TikTok dance. And we've reached the age where it's like, all right, there's no going back.
Yeah.
All right, like I can't. This is what 10-year-olds do. This is what they do. I don't allow them to be on social media at all, but they still want to do the dance.
Right. Give yourself like a decade, and then it's going to be cool to have you back in the picture with everything.
Okay.
But for right now, you're out entirely.
Okay, I'm fine.
I also, the oldest I feel is when I see players on the women's basketball team doing the TikToks, and it's like I feel so disconnected from the generation because I just can't imagine myself doing a TikTok dance, even though I'm like only a few years older than them.
Can you do one, though, for us? How about you and Sean?
I mean, I'd have to learn one. I don't, I could see them being done.
They're not really that complicated from what I saw.
And you're really overestimating. You saw me with the Harlem Shake. I was just vibrating the body, man. I got nothing else.
All right, we'll see what we can do with that. All right, so who else do we have?
Kelly Oubre.
Oh.
Under the name Tsunami. So this is not the first song he's put out. He's put out 2 songs before, but he used his All-Star break to put out a song called Fast and Furious. And here is Fast and Furious.
Fast and furious, I'm doing the dash. I think I'm Vin Diesel when I'm trying to get abs. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. I think you are my dad. Man, I think I'm delirious. I'm great at my craft. Wanna go to Japan and see all the garages, all the JDMs, all the nitrous. Hit those gears, man. We're going to Cyrus. Yeah, I think my car should go fast.
Where is this on? Can I get this on iTunes?
I believe you can.
No way.
I believe this is a song. This is out there. It's been released. I don't
Really?
know. Yes. We'll check on where exactly you can.
I'll check
get
my
it.
Amazon Music. Alexa, play Tsunami. Whatever the name is.
Yeah, Tsunami. Let's see. I want to make sure. Yeah, you can get it on Spotify. I can see it on Spotify.
Okay.
So it's there.
All right.
So
does he have any other songs? Does he rap about the accident that he got in that didn't happen or happened or?
There is not a song on that.
No.
Is interesting, of course, that when you bring that up, he did do a song about cars. Yeah, and then he had his song in 2022 called "Flipped the Game." So it's not his first. If you had the choice between McCain or
McCain,
got it.
And it doesn't mean that I really.
I don't think you're putting either one of them on your playlist. I didn't,
Yeah.
This was not a segment for me to say you should put these on your playlist, John. I think you're going to enjoy these. But happy All-Star break. This is the NBA content that we're given that's not podcasts. We got 2 songs.
Yep. When do they get back in action?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
I'll be there.
You're going there, too?
Hawks. Yep. One of my games this year.
Look at you.
Yep. How about that?
All right, coming up, Nick in Nelkins Park. Hang tight. We'll grab you. The YouTube chat recap is coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
You never stop thinking about
Ray's definitely one of the first people you think of. We're back. Middays with Marks. Guys are coming along next. Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo. Unfiltered. Sylvana's in the house. There you go. That's it. Every time there's certain songs you play that you like, that's number one on the list. It gives you the most energy.
It's a nice little, jolt of energy for the final segment of the show here. I think every one-hit wonder Wednesday will end with the Harlem Shake from here on out.
It's a good idea. Yep. You can brand it right now. Let's go to Nick in Elkins Park. Nick wants to talk about that dynamic that we were talking about with Harper, Hurts, and Embiid. What's up, Nick?
Hey, John. Hey, Ray. What's going on?
What's going on, dude?
So, see, this is the thing that's lost on that theory. When was the last time that Embiid carried us to the NBA Finals? When was the last time that he hit a last-second three like Harper hit a home run against the Padres? Has that happened?
No.
And that's why Bill's an idiot. So you can't – Harper has the moments. Like, Jalen's one thing. Jalen has the moments too, but it's also – there's an aspect to it that's eye test also.
Right.
The other thing I wanted to say is, what Dombrowski said is kind of it's kind of ridiculous if you actually look at Harper's stats, because for him to say he's not, it's like, well, then he's never been elite in your eyes. He had an 844 OPS last year. His first year with us, 882 OPS. 2022, 877 OPS. 2024, 898 OPS. Obviously, he is the outlier in 2021 over 1,000 when he won the MVP.
Right, he's never been Aaron Judge. He's never in his career been an Aaron Judge type. He's hit over 40 home runs one time in his career.
And that's another thing. If you go through the home runs since he's been here, 27, 30, 21, 18, that's why it's like, Dave, I didn't think what he said was that offensive in the full context of it.
Right.
But he opened up a can of worms. And what I would say is I'm in your boat where it's like, this is where obviously I'm a native Philadelphian, born and raised here, went to Temple. I know the dynamic with the sports teams. Let's not push this guy out. He's been a very good player for us. He's had he has one of the best moments in Phillies history, hitting that home run. Let's be real. And he was unbelievable for 2 straight postseasons.
Yeah.
Like on another planet. So it's like, if you want to talk about comparing to Embiid, I like him. I like his personality. He hasn't been the man, though. He won his MVP. He'll come out and drop 50 every now and then, but he hasn't had a month stretch where you need it in May in the NBA where, you're the guy. Harper's had that. You know, and the Jalen thing's a little bit more complicated because he's a quarterback. It's the most scrutinized position in sports.
Right.
It's a lot about the eye test, and it gets a little murky. But for him to even put Harper in the same category as Embiid, certainly, I just think it's ridiculous.
All right, Nick.
It's
always good to talk to you, buddy. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. Nick, long-time listener. Yeah, Bryce Harper, I feel like has been treated pretty well here in Philadelphia. He's also gone out of his way to do everything possible to promote the city, to be the biggest advocate of Philadelphia. I mean, he really has. And I'm not saying anything against Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's been a great player here. He also hasn't had the success. Let's not go over the top of the Bryce Harper success. It's tougher to make the playoffs in baseball than it is in basketball, right? The fact that the Sixers haven't been out of the second round of the playoffs, is Joel Embiid involved in that? Yeah, of course he is. But he's not all of it.
It's tough to compare sporting cast.
Yeah, it's tough.
To sport. But to the point here, I think the optimal word in the conversation they're going to have is unjust. Because if you really want to dive into Bryce Harper criticism, how much have we given out over the years?
I don't think he's been criticized really at all.
Right. So if there's been unjust criticized dish towards anyone, I don't think Bryce Harper's where I start in this city. If this
totally
offseason is the first time we're having it, and he brings up the OPS thing here, where it's it was the lowest. And I remember at the beginning of his contract when people were like, "Oh, what's When's this thing kicking into gear for him in 2019? I remember the little rumblings of all right, hey, we're still waiting to see the Bryce that they signed, and then he ends up being that guy for you. And
right.
He's been that guy for you for quite a while. And he brings up the year where he was hurt. It's all right, I remember where it's is Harper going to be able to elevate the baseball? We had those conversations.
I remember that.
Yeah, those things happened, but anytime we had him, he's, to his credit, answered the bell. The criticism hasn't gotten that loud around him. The other two guys have had the criticism a lot louder around him than him, which I think is a context that I'll be interested to see them try and put into that discussion at 2 o'clock today.
He had 42 home runs in 2015. In 2016, with about the same amount of at-bats, he had 24 home runs. He had 29 home runs the following season, 34 home runs. This is with Washington. 35. So here's home run totals, and, he hit 20 home runs when he was 20 years old. But when he hit 42 home runs at age 22 in 2015, he had 42, 24, 29, 34, 35. He was never he's not Aaron Judge. He's never been Aaron Judge. He wasn't paid like Aaron Judge. He's never been that guy. He's been a guy that hits in the 30s. The 40 home run years, that's an outlier. So when you look at his career numbers and what he had last year, it's really not that far off from what he's done in his career before. It's not. You just haven't been paying attention to close enough, or you don't know his history. His whole thing is that he's clutch. He hits in big spots. He hits when he's supposed to. By the way, he did not have postseason success in Washington. He didn't.
Which also, when we talk about the comparison to Joel Embiid, we've done the whole Joel Embiid experience. Bryce Harper chose us. We've got the adult Bryce Harper. We didn't have Shirley Temple Bryce Harper. We had Shirley Temple Joel Embiid. When's Joel Embiid going to get on the floor? We watched him. You had your takes on him as he was maturing as an adult and getting into what he is now. You have had your takes on Bryce Harper since he's become the family man and franchise leader franchise player that he is for this team. I think it's a very fascinating conversation.
All right, YouTube chat recap. What do we got?
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in? Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Hit me.
Nate is the 11-year-old that the Phillies signed. Kev from the YouTube chat.
He looks more like 15, but yeah. And he's older than Ray.
Yeah, he gets carded everywhere he goes, for sure.
He sure does. When he buys smokes at Wawa, he definitely gets...
That's why we became friends.
You guys smoke together?
Yep.
Did you put your coffee on top of the Wawa trash can?
No. We hold it in the hand. It's a little it's a tough maneuver, but I want to keep the warmth near my face.
You know, that's a thing. If you go to a Delco Wawa, I was talking about this last week because I was in Brew Mall. And the Delco Wawa, if someone's eating a hoagie on the trash can, the Wawa trash can, or smoking a cigarette, drinking coffee outside of Wawa on the trash can, that's normal.
Yeah, that's a normal thing. That's a thing people do.
Makes me feel good. All right, what's next?
What if we find out Embiid, A.J. Brown, LeBron, Jordan, and all the GOATs and great players are aliens? Will their achievements have an asterisk? Terrell from Philly.
Got to take him out of the Hall of Fame. You can't have an alien in the Hall of Fame, right? For humans.
Stay off the weed. Sounds like someone got a little high listening to us today.
All right, what's next?
Bill loves the sound of his own voice. It's in the Italian-American culture. Greg from the YouTube chat.
Whoa. 50% Italian on this one.
I'm 12 and a half.
I'm taking exception to that one.
Yeah, Bill's just a good talker. He's a good talker, and he's Italian.
He likes to hear his own voice. Doesn't have to do with the fact that he's Italian. He just likes to hear his own voice.
All right.
Yeah, he entertains himself.
All right, what's that?
Nate's back there looking for which YouTube comment really shouldn't be on the recap, but is still going to put it in the recap. If Bayless from the YouTube chat.
Wow.
It's a weird dynamic brewing between the YouTube chat and Nate right now.
Yeah, is he falling out of favor?
It seems like it. It's not the negativity. I don't feel like they feel like he's representing what they're saying.
So just for people that don't know, Nate is essentially the executive producer of the YouTube chat recap. And he is the, the wrangler back there. Kind of in charge. He'll get you banned if you get out of line.
I guess. Yeah, Dutz has control of the chat, but what ends up in the YouTube chat recap is Nate.
That's Nate.
Their working dynamic is also odd. I feel like there's some people here at the station right now that feel like there's a little bit of an alliance forming between the two of them that's becoming quite powerful.
Really?
You think about the number of people they see off the air every day. The morning show debriefs, and they talk to them.
True.
Afternoon show comes in,
They
gets
talk to
ready,
them.
they talk to them. You know, they have easy access to the two of us. Vito's walking around. Dylan's walking around. They're amassing a little bit of power back there that's kind of scary. They could put all of us out pretty quick.
They could. All right, what do we got?
Nate wears bigger shirts than Bill. Gas House Gorilla from the YouTube chat.
Bill also never wears jeans. You notice that?
I have noticed that.
Not one time.
Nope.
I've never seen him wear a pair of jeans. I don't know why.
He stopped going to the courthouse to decide anything that is somewhat decent to wear to work. He's just going workout clothes the rest of the time.
But there are people that don't wear. I know there's other people that I'm friends with that they've never been jeans wearer. And maybe they have a pair, but they never wear them.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine living that life.
And that's Bill.
I love a good pair of jeans.
I try to not wear jeans every day. Like you have fancier jeans than others, and then you have like the dad jeans that you wear when it's raining out and you're wearing a hoodie and stuff.
As evidenced by the YouTube chat today, I like the fit today for you.
Oh, people like so that doesn't
No,
make
I
it.
did. I don't know what they did, but I was saying when you walked in, I was like, it's a nice fit on him.
Yeah. When people dislike what I wear is when it makes the YouTube chat
right. Yeah.
Could have mixed in and like, hey, John, you look very nice today. Like your shirt.
I don't know if anyone said it though.
This is the because they like it. They don't say anything. This is the Sheen shirt that I continue. This is like I paid like $5 for it.
Gotcha.
Came from China. It took a couple extra days. Yeah. But yeah, and I've gotten a number of wears off of it.
It's good.
It's already paid for itself, right?
Ah, that's wonderful.
All right, coming up next, and this is going to be interesting because we had a bunch of phone calls on it. But the guys are going to explore the criticized athletes in Philadelphia with Bryce Harper, Joel Embiid, all these guys. Who's deserved it? Who hasn't? I don't think Bryce Harper's really been criticized at all, but it does feel like the tide is turning with Bryce. That's coming up next. Everybody, see you.
Now,